Campbell had 5 touchdowns.
You want to kick backs to that goal, please. Hope wins the toss. They defer their choice to the second half. Alma will defend and receive at the north goal. Good luck, guys.
Back with you at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium in Holland. Hope College has won the toss. They've elected to defer their choice to the second half, so Alma's going to get the football first. This is the 96th meeting all-time between the Flying Dutchman and the Scots. Hope leads the all-time series 59 wins to 32 with 4 ties. Last year at Balke Field in Alma, the Flying Dutchman won at 35-19 behind the running of Brandon Campbell. 231 yards, a career high, and 5 touchdowns, Mike.
It was a fantastic effort, and if you remember, last year we were down 13-0. We scored 28 straight points.
Right.
And it was a tough first quarter, but it was a huge game. Campbell had a career-high 231. Tim Pletcher came in with a career-high 64 and was able to help with a lot of rushing yards, 402 yards of offense in that big win over Alma at Balke Field.
Well, the Flying Dutchman in the navy blue uniforms with orange numerals outlined in white, orange pants, the orange helmet with the blue anchor logo on the side. The Scots, they are in the white jerseys with maroon numerals, white pants, and maroon helmet with a plaid A on the side of the helmet.
Yeah, the Scott
I love the plaid.
It's classic. It's classic. This reminds me exactly of 2015. They're in their road whites. We got some similar weather coming up, and hopefully history doesn't repeat itself as Alma took the win back in 2015. But a big win for Hope last year on the road in Alma.
Now, the officials, all assigned by the MIAA, Dave Van Sirksum is the referee, Peter Oudsma is the umpire, Lynn Van Sickle is the head linesman, line judge Chris Adams, side judge Carl Canute, field judge Timothy Todd, and back judge John Mowat. And Darren Ford getting ready to head out onto the field. He'll kick this ball game off for the Flying Dutchman.
And Greg, looking at the wind, it was a little busier a little while ago, but the wind has calmed down a little bit, but the flag still gets its attention at times, blowing in from the southwest or right to left. This is a north-south field, so the wind will factor in at some point, but right now Hope College has the wind here in the first quarter. No sun to speak of as we're late enough in the day where that is not a factor. But the lights are on here at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium as we get set to go.
Now, Darren Ford tees up the ball, and Hope will be going right to left across your radio dial. Back deep for the Scots are Chris Luckhurst and Chase Hinkle. Luckhurst, a junior from Ovid, LC, and Chase Hinkle from out of Concord, Michigan.
Yeah, Hinkle works the starting offense receiver. Luckhurst starts in the secondary. Two very capable receivers.
Now, we're getting ready for the run-up here with the play-by-play is Mike Coleman.
Thanks, Greg Chandler. Big, high end-over-end boot by Darren Ford through the end zone, and the big leg of Darren Ford creates an automatic touchback, and Alma will start 1st and 10. Well, Darren Ford did his job to start this opening kickoff.
Well, absolutely. And checking the Alma offense, Dylan Zaborowski, the senior from Jackson, is the quarterback, 48 of 82 for 613 yards in terms of passing, but he's also an excellent runner, and you got to respect that dual threat ability. The wide receivers, Alex Yancey, Chase Hinkle, Lars Murray, the tight end, Nick Kozart, and Caleb Reinhardt, their outstanding running back. Again, second in the MIAA in rushing. He has 11 rushing touchdowns already this season.
Here are the Scots on 1st and 10 from their own 25 between the hash marks from the pistol. Zaborowski, quick hitter on an inside slant, and that looks to be to Nick Kozart, who does not get a lot of receptions. He's a big kid from Manchester High School, but he picks up 5 on a little swing pass on the inside. 2nd down and 5 for Alma, just underway. Man in the slot formation. One receiver set on the right side. Now Zaborowski will keep it on second down, hit at the line of scrimmage, driven back, and I see Jake Pardnay in on the play, and Griffin Weigel, who had just one tackle last week, finishes him off for maybe a yard, bringing up third and medium here for Alma on the opening drive of the game.
From tackle to tackle, it's Fisher, Klein, John Eloisi, Dakota Jelinek, Ian Hickerson, and Jacob Headley for the Scots. 3rd and 2 Alma at its 33.
Nyer lines up far right side, near side. Kozar in motion, lines up in the H-back position. Give to Reinhardt. He cuts back inside, off tackle, first down. His first carry, the second leading rusher in MIAA. Caleb Reinhardt, not a big back, 5'8", 183, but he moves the chains with a pickup of 5. Ball at the Alma 38, and this is a team, very good offense. 37 points a game, that's 4th in the league. 3rd in total offense with 431 yards per game. Man in motion is Kozart, lines up on the left to the tight end on the left side. On 1st and 10, hand off to Reinhardt, bounces to the outside. Hit at the line of scrimmage, driven back. Great lateral pursuit by that Flying Dutchman defense.
Well, lots of guys flying to the football. Jake Pardnay along with Brandon Ellsworth on the tackle. Up front for the Dutchman, Zach Telfor, Ian Jorgensen, and Brandon Ellsworth. The linebackers, Mason Decker from West Ottawa and Griffin Weigel. The secondary, Jake Pardnay, Jake Zansky, Luke Beckhuysen, Nick Holt, Mason Rosado, and David Boss.
Fairly young secondary for the Flying Dutchman. They've been very good, though, this year. Ball batted in the air. Zaborowski, the quarterback, was almost able to corral the football, but it drops between his fingers.
Ian Jorgensen got a hand up there and knocked that football down.
Jorgensen, the junior from Lansing Catholic Central, 6'3", 288, who's able to get that paw in the air, and he checks out, takes a breather. Tate Knapp checks in, wearing number 96.
Yeah, keep an eye on Tate.
He's a good one. 3rd down and 9. On the year, 42%. Zaborowski straight back. He's pressured. Pass over the middle. Broken up nicely. And that is Luke Beckhuysen, the free safety from Coldwater, with a hand on it, intended for the receiver, number 23. And that is Alex Yancey. Incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down in a punting situation for the Scots.
Outstanding play by
Indeed.
Beckhuysen. Yancey would have had a first down had he been able to make the catch. Beckhuysen comes around, knocks it away, forces a punt.
Zaborowski with a very strong arm. He's tried to thread the needle between two Hope defenders. And now back to punt this football is Parrish DeBerg from Midland from their own 39. Low snap. DeBerg able to get this one away. A wobbly kick, and that one is very short. Alex Van Vliet is just going to let that roll, but he gets a big Scott bounce all the way down to the 23-yard line. So a 39-yard punt, and about half of that with the roll is Terberg averaging 33 per kick. Here comes the Flying Dutchman, 1st and 10 from their own 27.
Mason Oppel, the young man from Hudsonville High School, checking in at quarterback. Oppel 49 to 78 through the air for 555 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. Last week is by far his best game as a Dutchman. 17 of 22 for 205 yards and 4 scores against Olivet.
Yeah, solid performance. Check that, not the 27, the 22-yard line for the Flying Dutchman. 1st and 10. They move right to left across your radio dial. And now Mason Oppel, the sophomore, wearing number 9.
Hope comes out with 2 running backs. They have both Brandon Campbell and Chris Lee in the ball game.
Yeah, Chris Lee, 3 receptions for 94 yards last week, including 1 for 38 yards. They give to Chris Lee on a power sweep. He tries to force it outside, has a little room to run, and now converging quickly is Alma. And they smother Lee as they drive him out of bounds. This is a very good Alma defense, averaging 3.4 yards against the rush per carry. Short game for Lee to bring up 2nd down and 7.
Curtis Slank, Christian Boss, Mari Hardy getting his first start for the Flying Dutchman at wide receiver. Jake Kozlowski, the tight end, across the front line. Tim Ivory, Jake Vanderveen, Zach Smith. Good to see Justin Fairfield back after that injury last week, and Noah DeVelder.
You bet. The all MIAA guard Fairfield. Now the handoff to Campbell. Starts over center, has a break, cuts to the outside. 30, 35 to the 39-yard line. Campbell with great lateral movement smelled the outside and picks up the first down.
And a great block at the point of attack by the H-back, Chris Kelly. Led the way there for Brandon as he picked up the first down. Campbell came into tonight's ball game needing 70 yards to hit 2,000 for his career. He'd be the ninth Hope back to ever do that.
And only the second to do it in 2 seasons. Now Campbell and Lee line up in the shotgun, flanking Oppel on first down. Fakes the power sweep. Oppel lowers the head. He's a big, strong kid, and Oppel at 6'2", 235, able to move good yardage on first down as he takes it straight up the middle for a solid 4 yards.
I alluded to this last week, Mike, that Mason Oppel, when he gets the football, he's an extra running back, and he punishes the defender when he goes in and he leads the way.
He looks for contact, and that was his makeup in high school, and we're seeing that in college. Pickup of 5, second down and 5 from their own 43. No score, 11:28 remaining in the first quarter. Working his way as Campbell almost broke it at the 48, but is able to be tackled with an ankle stop. And a nice stop by number 10, John Martinez, the freshman linebacker from Alvin, Texas, but not before the next first down for Hope College on the run by Campbell.
Alma runs out of a 43rd set. Up front, it's Derek Ellis, Hunter Hoffman, Joe Hernandez III. We'll also see Cameron Lee. We talked to his dad, Russ, the former Holland High School athletic trainer. We'll see him in the ball game. Dustin Tripp, also a defensive end for the Scots.
2 first downs for the Flying Dutchman on 1st and 10 from their own 49. Motion goes to the right, play action. Oppel in trouble, being chased by Tripp defensively. Oppel still with the football. He's got to get rid of it, and he throws it out of bounds. A wise play is great secondary coverage and great pursuit by Dustin Tripp. He's a good one, the 6'2 defensive end from Hudsonville High School.
Yeah, Dustin Tripp chasing his old high school teammate
Exactly.
around and forced the Oppel out of the pocket and into that incompletion.
I love these high school matchups in college. They're always very interesting. 2 former high school teammates going at it. Second down and 10. So now Oppel lines up kind of an offset eye next to Oppel with an H-back Kelly on the right side. 2 receivers, 1 on the left, 1 on the right. Hardy on the near side on second down. Now we got a whistle as the snap is being given, and I believe that's going to go against a Flying Dutchman.
It's going to be a legal procedure. You have Oppel about 4 yards behind him.
5-yard penalty.
Brandon Campbell
Second
right
down.
behind him, and then Chris Lee off to the left. And they were going to run. That looked like they were going to run Lee on the jet sweep to the right on that play.
And I don't even have a proper term to call this formation. We've never seen this so far this year in 2017 for the Hope offense.
Well, it's kind of a pistol meets the offset eye.
Yes,
That's the
exactly.
best way to describe it.
Well done, Chandler. On second down and 15 from their own 44. Inside 11 minutes remaining, no score. Hope has the win here in this first quarter. And now another flag, just as the ball is snapped.
And this is going to go again against the Flying Dutchman, it looks like. So back-to-back penalties, once again, illegal procedure. So now it's going to be 2nd and 20 for Hope College. And Peter Stursma is having a word with the head linesman. That's Lynn Van Sickle. He's called both of those penalties. Van Sickle's obviously seen something before that snap.
It looks like some motion on the front line for the Flying Dutchman. They lined up a slot receiver on the far side, right side for Oppel on 2nd and 20. Single setback as Campbell gets hit, tries to go outside, and he has dropped and nowhere to go.
Yeah, what a play that time. That's number 47. That's
I've got that as Nick Coatsard. He's the
90, it's 97. I stand corrected. That's Dylan Bergman, the sophomore from Williamston, breaking through that time. Great penetration. And Hope looking at a 3rd and 24 now. The ball at the 35-yard line.
This started at the 49-yard line, so Hope moving backwards, and we're seeing a lot of replacements for Alma. They're moving in some fresh bodies here in the first quarter. Nothing tie on 3rd down and 24. Interesting call on this long attempt on 3rd down. 2nd in the league at 47%. Oppel in trouble, trying to dump the football over the middle, complete. It'll be well short as Brandon Campbell just in the vicinity, able to haul it in for 6 yards. Will bring up 4th down and a punting situation for the Dutchman.
And Dustin Tripp again getting tremendous pressure there on Mason Oppel, forcing him to throw the ball short. Hope's going to have to punt the football.
Dustin Tripp, all MIAA last year, and the senior putting pressure on Oppel. And now Darren Ford averaging 37 yards per kick in his 15 boots this year, long of 55. He's got the punt and return man, Chase Hinkle, standing back at his own 10-yard line. End over end boot. This one might have some bounce on it. Fielded by Hinkle at his own 8. Stutter step at the 10, 15, and he is driven down on good special teams play as a 7-yard return by Hinkle. 1st and 10 for Alma from the near side hash mark.
Riley Fournette, the backup tight end, down on the coverage with help from Kyle Crum. Alma will have the ball at its 16-yard line. Another good boot there by Darren Ford.
We call Kyle Crum's name a lot on special teams. The
We
junior from
do.
Okemos is in on a lot of tackles. He's tenacious. 2nd touch for Alma. No score here in the first quarter. With Greg Chandler, I'm Mike Coleman here on 92.7 The Van. Streaming online at 927thevan.com. 9:17 remaining in the first frame. Overcast beginning to take a little bit more center stage now. A sweep by one of the ends and room to run at the 20 to the 21-yard line. That's Parrish Terberg, the wide receiver, the senior from Bullock Creek.
Who's
with
also
his
the
first
punter.
carry. Is also the punter, picks up good yardage, 2nd and 4.
That was a jet sweep that Terberg was the slot receiver on the right. He took the handoff from Zaborowski on the jet sweep going left, picked up good yardage, 2nd and 4 Alma.
Terberg and Nair line up right side on the strong side of the field. Man in motion is Yancey on 2nd down. Zaborowski keeps it, nowhere to go. Weigel sniffs it out, and he is finished off by his teammate Jake Pardonnet, and he's going to lose a few yards as Zaborowski has nowhere to run. Good pursuit by the Flying Dutchman. Jorgensen checks out. Tate Knapp checks in. It'll bring up 2nd down. Check that, 3rd down and 8 on the loss of 5.
Well, if Hope can hold here, they should get good field position.
Yep, and with a little bit of wind here in the first quarter in their favor. It is overcast at the 6:13 hour. Lights are on here at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium. Man in motion is the tight end Kozar. Blitz is on. Zaborowski has time. Now ranging to his right. Knapp trying to get a beat on him. Zaborowski fires over the middle, and that ball almost picked off by David Boss at the 32. Would have been enough for the first down. The intended receiver, Chase Kruger, the sophomore out of Forest Hills Eastern, but that drives into the turf incomplete.
That was a dangerous pass by Zaborowski. He's trying to throw the ball back across the middle of the field there, and oftentimes you'll see a defensive back get an interception off of that. Nicely defended there by David Boss, and the Scots are going to have to punt from deep in their own end.
As Zaborowski, a very accurate passer, just 1 for 4, and Boss, the sophomore from Unity Christian, made a nice play. So now Terberg will punt this away. Van Vliet stands at his own 46 Hope to return this punt. Rush is on. That was a shank punt by Terberg, maybe to the 30-yard line, then went up the side of the foot. He's had problems this year. Hope College, deep in Alma territory, will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, there was pressure from Connor Nemers. That's another one of those special teams guys we've been talking about the last several weeks. And I thought for a moment Nemers may have got a piece of the football, but regardless, Hope is going to get tremendous field position. They're going to get it at the Alma 28, a 12-yard punt.
My goodness. Connor Nemers, the 6-foot sophomore from West Catholic. He's a great special teams player. He's been close a few times to pick off one of those punts this year. On 1st and 10, Hope College with their best field position on their 2nd touch. Inside 8 minutes remaining in the scoreless tie in the first quarter on 1st down. H-back lines up to the right side. Campbell trying to pick his way off the left side of that line, and he has spun down and dropped. Joe Hernandez III, the junior from Lewiston, Florida, with the initial stop, and he has a load at 5'9", 306.
Yeah, also there, Colton Tyson, a senior from Vassar, 6'2", 221. It was actually Tyson that filled the hole, and then Martinez finished up.
Tyson, the leading tackler for Alma. He had 11 tackles last week in the win over Kalamazoo. He had a team-high 11. On 2nd down, loss of a yard for Campbell. He lines up behind Oppel, play action. Oppel fires that one over the head of the intended receiver, Christian Boss. He was wide open at the 24, but Oppel airmailed it over his head, incomplete.
Yeah, the defensive back for Alma was giving plenty of room for Christian, and that should have been an easy throw and catch, but Mason just overthrew him.
Yeah, Chris Luckhurst, the defensive back, playing well off Christian Boss, the leading receiver for the Flying Dutchman this year. Now Ryan Veenster, who had his first catch as a member of the Flying Dutchman last week, lines up on the right side. 3 receiver set. Slank and Boss join him. No receivers on the left side. Campbell, the lone back behind Oppel on 3rd and 11. Play action. Oppel looking right. He's in trouble. Now he'll tuck in and run at the 30, 25-20, and he'll be close to the first down marker. Had to get to the 18-yard line.
He got
he
there.
Had enough for the first down as he's knocked out at the 17.
Well, what happened there is as he got pressure from that Alma front line, there was no contain on the left side, so Oppel found himself with a lot of room to his left and just ran to daylight. Got a good block downfield from Jake Kozlowski.
And that's what Mason Oppel can do. A 12-yard pickup, averaging almost 4 yards a carry. He's the 2nd leading rusher for the Flying Dutchman on 1st and 10. In the red zone from the 17, looking right, passing right to Christian Boss. Eludes a tackle at the 10, racing for the pylon, diving attempt. Is he in?
Yes, he is!
Touchdown, Hope College!
What a play by Boss that time. Chris Luckhurst, the junior from Ovid Elsie, came up to make the tackle. Boss did a shake and bake move, and Luckhurst came up tackling air, and Christian Boss goes in for the touchdown for Hope.
A two-handed dive for that near pylon on the far side. His 2nd touchdown of the season. And for Mason Oppel, that is touchdown number 7 on the season. Darren Ford trying to finish this off with the extra point. It's 6-0 with 6:49 remaining here in the first quarter. Good snap, good hold, kick sidewinds through, and just like that, taking advantage, Greg Chandler, of great field position at the 32-yard line. They bang it in with a short drive.
Well, yeah, again last week, Mike, Hope took advantage of every opportunity that Olivet provided them. Alma gave Hope a short field with that shanked punt by Terberg, and Hope takes advantage. And the key play in that drive was that scramble by Oppel on the 3rd and long.
Yep, fantastic effort. That was the big play of the drive, which goes 4 plays, 28 yards, and takes 68 seconds off the clock. A lot of time left, but a good start for the Flying Dutchman. We saw this last week. They were able to get off to a strong start and making a statement here in the first quarter here at home. 7-0, Hope College is outbooted away. Well, things get a little bit darker here, Greg Chandler. We're expecting maybe some rain around the 7 o'clock hours. The clouds are rolling in, and we'll try and keep pace with that as we have our eye on the radar. We got some activity over Lake Michigan. How severe it will be, we cannot say at this point, but we are expecting some moisture, and it did rain overnight, but this is a artificial turf, a field turf here at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium. It drains very well. Other than a slippery football, the field shouldn't be a factor. As Luckhurst and Hinkle back at the goal line to try and return this kick by Ford. This was another high end over end. Luckhurst going to let that one go through the end zone. Darren Ford with a mighty boot. And Alma will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20.
And Darren also taking advantage of that wind at his back, and he has sent 2 kickoffs through the end zone already on the first 2 kickoffs. So Alma's going to get the ball at its own 25-yard line. 6:49 to go in the first quarter, and the Flying Dutchman holding a 7-0 lead on that connection from Mason Oppel to Christian Boss.
Well, so far so good. The Hope College defense has been able to keep Alma to 16 yards on 9 plays, as they stack up 2 receivers right behind each other on first down from the near side. Strong side of the field. Man in motion is Kozart off the left side. Blitz is on. Give to Reinhardt straight up over the middle as they ride the block of Dakota Jelinek, the sophomore center from Montrose, and his old running back teammate, Caleb Reinhardt, who also from Montrose, picks up 2 yards.
And Griffin Weigel came on a blitz that time, and he actually filled the hole and got the tackle for the Flying Dutchman. Gain of 2 for the Scots.
You bet. He was the space eater. Weigel, 31 tackles coming in. That's tied with the team lead with Nick Holt. On 2nd down, we'll call it 8. Back to pass, 2-step drop. Zaborowski fires that one over the head, intended for Alex Yancey, the leading receiver for Alma. That one just sailed wide over his head, incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
You have to wonder if these windy conditions are playing havoc with the quarterbacks, Mike.
I think in both, sometimes it gives and it takes away, because I think you feel like you need to fire it harder, and you might overthrow a little bit too high. But Zaborowski on 3rd down. 3rd and 8 from their own 26. Big stop for Hope. They could get good field position once again. Zaborowski in trouble, and he is wrapped up and dropped at the 27-yard line.
Griffin Weigel got him.
How about that? Griffin Weigel, his 3rd sack of the season, and Zaborowski is caught for no gain.
Well, the key on that was the pressure from Zach Telfer coming from the outside, and you know we've called Zach's name so many times. He is such a tremendous pressure rusher from the outside. He forced Zaborowski to scramble, and then Weigel finished the playoff. Scots are going to have to punt.
Hope College defense making a statement. They're 2nd in the league, averaging just over 300 yards per game. They have been stingy against the rush, and so far so good. 4th down. We'll see if Terberg.
It's a
fake handoff. They give inside and an ankle tackle. He might have had big yardage, but how about that? Chris Kelly on special teams was able to cut down Austin Spratling, the sophomore from Wyoming Kelloggsville, for a 1-yard gain.
Spratling came to Alma as a quarterback. They moved him to running back, and he was the up back on that fake play, but the Dutchmen were ready for it. Chris Kelly tackles him, and Hope for the 2nd straight possession will start inside the Alma 30.
How about that? You roll the dice. Greg Piscadna trying a little strategery on that play. Did not work. And fantastic special teams effort by Hope College. They take over 1st and 10 at the 29 of Alma. 7-0 Hope College.
Let's see if Oppel goes for the end zone on this first play.
Well, he's got that offset eye, shotgun formation once again. Lead to his left. Behind him is Campbell on 1st down. Straight give to Campbell, now cuts back to the outside. Bounces off a tackle, 30, 25, 20. Race to the end zone. Touchdown, Flying Dutchman from 29, Brandon Campbell. Not to be denied off the left side. What a play.
What can you say about Brandon Campbell? Last year, a career-high 231 yards and 5 touchdowns against Alma. He finds a hole tonight, goes over the left side, gets a good block from his H-back, Chris Kelly, and he takes it to the house.
How about that? Yeah, 5 touchdowns last year, and he just scores touchdown number 9 this year from 29. He broke the plane of the line of scrimmage, and it was just pure power. At 5'11", 220, his top-end speed's amazing. On the hold from David Boss, the kick by Darren Ford goes about 55 yards past the goalpost, and we've got a 14-0 game. They take advantage. Well, they went to the end zone, Greg Chandler, not with a pass. They went with the Brandon Campbell.
Well, hey, you can't go wrong when you stick the ball in the belly of number 38.
My goodness, 43 yards on 5 carries for Brandon Campbell, and another short yard drive, 1 play, 29 yards. And just like last week, Hope College scores in their first couple of possessions, and they lead 14-0.
Now, it's kind of interesting now because last year at Alma, Alma jumped out to the early lead, and Hope came back and won that game. Now the shoe's on the other foot. Greg Piscata's got to figure out a way to rally the Scots down by 14.
And there's a lot of time left. We're still with 5:19 remaining, and Alma's too good offensive. They have a lot of good weapons, and they're a big play team, and that's what Hope, we talked about this last week, Greg. If they can just prevent the big play and let Alma earn the yards, then they will have done their job.
Well, Hope now 87 yards total offense. Alma with 20 so far, but most importantly, it's a 14-0 Dutchman lead.
Another big, deep kick by Darren Ford, and that one sails to the end
Forget
zone.
it.
There is not, other than Cameron Cook for Adrian, there may not be a stronger leg in the Midwest than Darren Ford. He's something else.
So once again, Alma's going to get the football at their 25 with 5:19 to go in this first quarter. Hope College scoring on their last 2 possessions, a combined 5 plays on those 2 drives, and striking within a matter of 90 seconds. One was 6:49, and now with 5:19 to go here in the first quarter.
So we'll see what Hope can do defensively. Hey, check out the Lakeshore's Wake Up Call with Brent Allen, weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on 92.7 The Van, streaming online at 927thevan.com. It's a great show with Brent Allen. The Lakeshore's Wake Up Call, faking the blitz, and the give to Reinhardt, bounces to the outside, has room, cuts back, hit at the line of scrimmage, and Nick Holt comes in from the secondary and prevents a no-gain situation. Griffin Weigel, no surprise, at the bottom of the scrum pile. I'll check that. He picks up 3 tough yards, but Reinhardt checks out on 2nd and 7. He's a slippery running back, Greg Chandler. On 2nd down, fresh running back, that's Spratling, who was out a couple weeks with an injury. And Spratling, the converted quarterback, now running back from Kelloggsville, gets the handoff, hit in the backfield, breaks a tackle, but not until Tate Knapp wraps him up with an ankle takedown, and Tate Knapp with those big long arms drops him for a loss.
And Tate Knapp's so quick off the ball, and that's what makes him such a valuable outset on the edge there for Hope College. Just tall, rangy, but quick, flies to the ball. He drops Spratling for a loss of 1.
Knapp hit him initially, couldn't grasp him up, and then the second effort was able to tie him up for a loss of 4 yards. 3rd down and 11. We've seen a lot of 3rd down and long for Alma here in the first quarter. Over 4 minutes remaining. 3 receivers set on the right side. Back to pass. Zaborowski pressured, eludes the tackle at the 10. Running to the right side. He's looking near side. He lofts the football up, and that one is incomplete on a late hit on the intended receiver, Dustin Nair, as it looks like David Boss put a lick on Nair. It'll bring up 4th down and another punting situation.
Tremendous pressure again by that Hope College front line, and Zaborowski forced to throw on the run, not able to make an accurate throw. Once again, Hope holds, and they'll get the ball back.
He has not been able to, and I mean Zaborowski, has not been able to get comfortable in the pocket.
Nope.
He is a more effective quarterback when he's able to set, as are most quarterbacks. On 4th down, Terberg had a 12-yard effort last time, and this one a little bit better into the wind. Spiral hits at the 44-yard line, gets a nice Scott bounce, and Alex Van Vliet from Montague will let that go as they touch the football down at the 37. Good field position for the Flying Dutchman. 3:51 remaining here in the first quarter. Hope 14, Alma nothing.
You gotta like the.
And stand corrected. That was a new punter, Colin Smith, the sophomore from Pewamo, Westphalia, with his first effort.
Well, you got to wonder with the struggles that Terberg has had that Greg Piscata might be trying somebody else to punt the football.
And that was the first punt attempt. We've seen Dylan Zambrowski with a couple punts last year. He's got an effort this year, but they send Colin Smith the sophomore newbie in to punt that football away, and that was a pretty good effort. On 1st and 10, Hope College on the offense. 2 receivers, one on the right, one on the left. On 1st down, pitch to Campbell. Gets a block, cuts back to the inside. 45, 50, off to the races. Trying to move upfield, 30, 25. Trying to get a block on the outside. He's hit at the 10 and dropped to the 6-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle by Colin Smith. Big yardage for Brandon Campbell.
We've talked so much about Brandon Campbell's ability, not just with the power, but the speed. What's the phrase you use, Mike? Downward speed or something like that. He just hit the gas and he almost took it all the way to the house. It's a gain of 55 yards.
55 yards indeed, and that puts Brandon Campbell over the 2,000-yard mark, only the 9th Hope College rusher in the history of the Flying Dutchman program, only a second in 2 years to perform that feat. On 1st down, give to Campbell again, works his way, fighting his way towards the goal line, dropped to the 2-yard line. Nice tackle by John Martinez, the freshman linebacker, and Campbell, now with over 60 yards in his last 2 carries, makes it 2nd and goal. They'll mark it at the 2.
Well, Hope with an opportunity here to try to blow this one open early. And Tim Pletcher's going to come in the ball game for Campbell.
And Pletcher, he was banged up a little bit early in the year, but he had a career-high 64 yards last year against Alma, and complimented Campbell's career-high 231.
You got both Chris Lee and Pletcher in the ball game. Lee is lined up to the left of Oppel, and Pletcher's going to line up to Mason's right.
Now they'll flank the quarterback, Oppel, on 2nd down. Low snap. Oppel keeps it. Quarterback hit at the line of scrimmage, fighting forward, and he draws the attention of 5 or 6 Alma Scots. He will be short. I'm not sure if he gained a yard at all. Bring up 3rd and 2.
Zach Peterson, the senior linebacker from Holt, just outside of Lansing, filling the hole that time. It's going to be 3rd and goal for the Dutchman from the 2-yard line of the Scots.
Greg Chandler, Brandon Campbell now has run for 100 yards plus in 10 of his last 11 games and 11 in his 15 career games with the Flying Dutchman.
Already
right now, 103 yards.
103 yards already. We're not even done with the first quarter yet.
Lee flanks Oppel to the right. On 3rd down and 2. Handoff. Campbell lowers the head, trying to cross the plane of the goal line. Oppel says he's in, but they're not giving him the call.
They're going to mark him just short. It looks like he'll be about a foot short of the end zone. And I got to think Hope's going to try and punch it in the end zone here on 4th down. And I bet Mason Oppel will take it himself.
Well, I know the Hope fans don't want to go for it. The Hope College bench right in front of us.
They're not going to send the field goal unit out.
They would really make a statement up 14-0. You could punch it in for 6 here at the 119 mark, still in the first quarter. On 4th down, they're going to go for it. Kozlowski lines up in the tight end formation on the right side. On 4th down and a yard. Oppel in the gun. Handoff to Campbell. We got a flag on the far side line of scrimmage, and this might be coming back.
I think this is going to go against the Dutchman. Illegal procedure.
That is the 3rd 5-yard penalty, the 3rd procedure call against the Flying Dutchman. That will send in Darren Ford.
You hate to take a penalty like that so close to the end zone, but Peter Sturzman at this point says, let's just kick the field goal. We're up by 14 already.
Darren Ford will try this. He's 2 out of 4 for the year. Does have a 45-yarder. This would be a 22-yarder. From the right hash.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough angle for Darren.
He's got the wind, but this is always a tough angle for a right leg kicker. On the hold from David Boss, good snap, and the kick is up, and it is good. And that was a line drive effort. The Hope College comes away. They do not get the touchdown as the 5-yard penalty causes a field goal attempt, but a 4-play, 32-yard drive. They take advantage once again, Greg, of great field position. From their own 32-yard line, and they score 3 points on the field goal.
Now 17-0 Hope College with 1:04 to go in the first quarter. Hope scoring on 3 consecutive possessions, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. You would have liked to see them get the touchdown, but Pete Sturzman will take the points.
You bet. 5 plays, 68 yards, took 2:47 off the clock. Well, it's all Hope offensively here in the first quarter. The defense has been pretty stellar, too. Lights are on here at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium. Looking at the numbers, total offensive yards, Hope College 148, Alma 19.
Yeah, just a totally dominant first quarter by the Flying Dutchman, and the defense has set the table. They've not been able to allow Alma to get anything going offensively, and Hope's taken advantage of good field position and had a nice drive on that last possession.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. You know, as much as the Hope College offense has been successful, the defense really does set the table. They create these third and long situations at times and gives them good field position. Darren Ford once again. He blasts ones into the end zone. Luckhurst is going to try it 3 yards deep. Straight up. Now he cuts to the far side. Luckhurst with a head of steam at the 30. Changes direction. He's finally spun down at the 32. Nice return of 35 yards before he is wrapped up by Jake Babb. It'll be 1st and 10 for Alma with one of their best field positions to start a ball game. We've got 56.5 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Hope 17, Alma nothing. Well, if history is any indication, the last 13 games of this series, the winning team has scored 30-plus points, so we're well on our way, Greg Chandler. 1st and 10 for Dylan Zaborowski and company. Alma averaging 37 points a game on 1st and 10. 1 for 6 for Zaborowski. He'll keep it on the quarterback counterplay up the middle. Room to run. Look out, 40. Boy, an ankle tackle by Beckhusen in the secondary. He was off to the races. 1st down for Zaborowski and a 14-yard pickup.
Good blocking by Fisher Klein and John Aloisi, the left side of that Alma line. And I'll tell you something, Zaborowski, if Beckhusen doesn't make that tackle, that's a touchdown.
You bet. He's got good speed. And Zaborowski, a big kid like Oppel, 5'11", 220. But he is fast. Power sweep. This time on the near side, trying to turn it upfield at the midfield stripe. Knocked out of bounds, and that's Chase Hinkle on a wide receiver sweep. Picks up 4 tough yards. A good pickup for Alma. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5. 2nd down and a long 5. Ball just inside Hope territory. Jake Pardnay on the stop. 16 seconds remaining. This could be the last play of the first quarter as Zaborowski, wearing number 13, the 4-year starter from Michigan Center High School, Jackson, Michigan product. Cozart off the right side. They'll keep it again on the quarterback draw. Makes his way to the 45. He might be a half yard short as the first quarter comes to a close. It'll bring up 3rd and short for Alma.
A great start for Hope College tonight. Under the lights here at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium, the Flying Dutchman lead Alma 17-0 after the first quarter. We'll take a 60. You're listening to Hope College football on the Lakeshores 92.7 The Van and 92.7thevan.com.
Monday, hit the road.
Honey, did you remember to bring the GPS?
Nope.
Oh. Well, you have an app on your phone to tell us how to get where we're going?
I do not.
Really? So you have an actual map, like the kind that are hard to fold?
Uh-uh.
You just know where you're going?
No idea.
Don't be this guy when it comes to financial planning. LVZ Advisors. We'll help get you there.
Hey, we're a little lost. Do you know where the lake is? All right.
Back with you at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium in Holland. 17-0 Hope over Alma as we start the second quarter. They've had a tradition at the Hope home football games of honoring past veterans. And today the recipient that's being honored is Purple Heart recipient and retired Army officer Dennis Booster of Coldwater, Michigan. He was severely injured in Vietnam after stepping on a landmine in 1969. He spent a year in an Army hospital in Pennsylvania. He was medically retired. One of his grandkids happens to be Hope defensive back Luke Beckhusen.
How about that? That's fantastic. And Beckhusen, a sophomore starter from Coldwater, having a fine season. So it's always great to honor our military men and women and our sincere respect. Now moving out of formation to the left side. Tight end lines up on the left side. Man in motion now is Cozart on 3rd and a half yard. Give up the middle, and it's going to be awful close. Second effort may have sprung the first down as Reinhardt was hit behind the line of scrimmage. He's able to fall forward. We'll see where they mark the football, but it looks good from here. Well, I don't know, Greg. It's going to be awful close. Might see a visit from the chain gang.
They are going to call for the chain gang to come across. Alma had gone 0 for 4 on their last third downs, but this was a 3rd and 1. Of the previous 4 third down situations, Mike, were 9, 8, 8, and 11. If Hope can continue to put Alma in those 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 situations, that's going to really help the Flying Dutchman.
And another thing to note, Caleb Reinhardt so far, knock on wood, has been held in check. 4 carries for 11 yards, the second leading rusher in the MIAA.
It is a first down. He got it by about half of the football there. So Alma will have it 1st and 10 at the Hope 44-yard line. Through the first quarter, Hope with 148 yards total offense to 42 for Alma, including 124 yards on the ground to 37 for the Scots.
1st and 10 for Alma. First time they've been in Hope College territory from the 44. Cozart, little stutter step motion from the right side. Flow goes to the right side. Reinhardt has room to run at the 40, 35, and look out. He's got great top end speed when he gets going, and Reinhardt with his best carry, good for 9 yards, as he is knocked down at the 35-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and a yard. Ball at the far hash mark. And Alma with the wind, as the wind starting to pick up, moving right to left in this second quarter. 3 tight end, check that 3 receiver formation on the left side, near side on 2nd down. Zaborowski's been in the gun all day. He's got 1 receiver on the right in an empty backfield. Zaborowski will keep it 1st down and more. He escapes a tackle at the 20. Look out, 15. Finally caught from behind. And another touchdown saving tackle. Jake Zansky, the senior from Wyandotte, is able to haul him down, but Zaborowski showing some wheels.
Well, they spread the field that time, and once Zaborowski got past that first wave, there was no safety to back up the play. Zansky saves the touchdown, chases him down from behind.
20-yard pickup, power sweep, right side. Reinhardt pushed outside, and he is knocked out of bounds. There's nowhere to go. They try the short side of the field, and Mason Rosado in on the tackle. Mason Rosado, a game-high 10 tackles last week, and a great victory over Olivet. He had a fantastic game. Pickup of a yard, 2nd down and 9. Ball resting comfortably at the 15-yard line at the far hash mark for Alma on 2nd down. 17-0 Hope College with the early lead. Alma with their best drive of the day at the 13:27 mark. 2 receivers left, 1 in the slot on 2nd down. Play action. Zaborowski has time, lost it in the end zone. That one off the end line and incomplete. A diving effort by the tight end, Chase Kruger, as the ball falls wide, incomplete, bringing up 3rd and long.
Yeah, I think that one may have been aided by the wind. I think that ball actually ended up hitting off the base of the goalpost there, Mike.
Well, the American flag off to our right in the south end zone really whipping right now, so it's tough with the wind as well because the ball just kind of sails off the quarterback's hands. So 3rd down.
Zaborowski going 1 of 7 so far through the air.
Yeah, it's been tough go for him. And on 3rd down situations, Alma just 2 good conversions on 3rd down in this game. High snap. Zaborowski keeps it, has room. 10, 5, dives for the end zone. He's in for the touchdown. Wide open up the middle, and Zaborowski pounds it in from 15 yards. And Alma making this a ball game.
Well, we talked at the top of the broadcast, Mike, about Dylan Zaborowski and his ability to run the football, and he showed that ability there. He knew where the hole was, and he took it right straight down the middle, and he's in the end zone for the score, and Alma's on the board with 13:11 to play in the first half.
2nd rushing touchdown for Zaborowski in 2017. And now the extra point try by Jacob Plisko, and that one is good. So after 17 unanswered points by the Flying Dutchman, it's now a 17-7 game, and we're seeing all sorts of debris flying around as the wind really starting to pick up, and that flag is straight at attention off to our right.
Well, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast that there was a storm system headed in our direction, and it is very, very windy right now here at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium. And there's a few sprinkles right now, but I anticipate the rain's going to pick up in intensity fairly soon. And then you got to wonder, we haven't had any lightning in the area yet, but we got to be aware of that. And if that happens, we're going to have a delay in this ball game.
No doubt about that. So 2 minutes and 46 seconds on the drive by Alma. They go 9 plays, 68 yards, and they finally open up the offense and kind of closing the gap here, 17-7. Hope College will get the football. They're going to work with a very, very strong breeze in their face as Plisko's going to kick this away at the 13-11 mark. Well, that time there was some big gains really on the ground for Alma, and they're a good running team.
Well, Greg Piscadna stays committed to the run, even though he's down 17 points. He's got confidence in that running game, particularly if you've got guys like Reinhardt and Zaborowski.
They average 275 as a team per game. That's 3rd in the MIAA, and that's good numbers, and that just shows you how strong the running game is in the MIAA conference. And now Plisko will have somebody holding the football as he boots this one away. A low end-over-end kick, and that one takes a funky hop and dribbles into the end zone as Christian Boss lets it go in. Automatic touchback. Hope College starts at their own 20, 1st and 10, with a 17-7 lead. Now the wind changing direction, actually moving across the field. We're on the west side of the field, so a little bit of a swirling action going on. It got dark quick here.
Yeah, and it is very, very windy. I would say the wind is probably in the 25 to 30 mile an hour range right now. And I'm looking at the radar, thanks to Corey Ellison that is here tonight. And there is a line of rain that is already moving on shore here. So we expect the rain to start coming down in earnest fairly soon.
Well, both teams are going to have to deal with adverse conditions. We've had great weather really all season long. Now in week 5, a little bit of a challenge is Hope College with a 17-7 lead on 1st down. Oppel from the gun, handoff, give to Campbell, trying to work his way, kind of bounces around off left tackle, trying to find a seam between Jake Vanderveen and Tim Ivory. And he picks up good yardage, 4 yards, crawls his way to the 30-yard line, and now for Brandon Campbell with 108 yards here in the first half. 2nd down and 6. Well, I would imagine, Greg, if you can have some success on the ground staring into this wind, they want to maybe keep it on the ground.
And the heavens have just opened up here, Mike.
It
is coming down right now.
Campbell lines up to the right on the play action. Oppel moving to his right. He's being pressured, changes direction, lofts it into the bench for Hope College on the near side. A smart play by the sophomore, nowhere to go, as Dustin Tripp coming all over him. And Dustin Tripp, old teammate of Mason Oppel, gets a pat on the behind on the pressure. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6, and it is coming down here at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium. A shower.
That's an understatement, Mike.
You bet. Brigade right now. 3rd down and 6. 3 receivers line up on the far side. The lone receiver on the near side is Curtis Slank. 3rd and 6. Campbell off to Mason Oppel's left, slipping up, being pressured, and he will be brought down on the ankle tackle. And great pursuit. And that is number 94, Derek Ellis, the senior from Langsburg, as Oppel tried to go up the middle. He'll be short. It'll bring up 4th down in a punting situation for the Flying Dutchman. So Alma holds defensively.
And now Darren Ford's going to have to kick into that strong wind.
So that is the
really important, Mike, that Hope executes a good snap from center. I mean, we've seen some adventures with the punting game. I mean, we saw it with Olivet last week. A bad snap gave Hope a short field to go in for a touchdown.
Sure did. Field position's everything with these 2 high-powered offenses. So now Chase Hinkle stands at his own 35. In the crosswind, they're going for the block. A great boot by Darren Ford is able to get that in. A sideways bounce out of bounds prevents the run back. But how about that punt? 40 yards plus into a stiff wind.
47 yards for Darren Ford in these conditions. That is a terrific punt by Mr. Ford. Alma will get the ball 1st and 10 at its 22 with 11:41 to go in the first half, and Hope leading 17-7.
One thing we have seen, the team with the win so far in this game has had the most success offensively. And now Alma trailing 17-7. Wind continues to howl. You can see the rain moving sideways in front of the lights here at Ray and Sue Smith. It's a good old-fashioned fall storm here on the lakeshore on 1st and 10. Kozar lines up on the left side, the tight end. Now Zaborowski picks his way through the middle, hit at the line of scrimmage. Jorgensen stands him up, and he is driven back. Maybe a 3-yard pickup as he able to get to the 25, line of scrimmage at the 22.
When Zaborowski gets the snap, Mike, he hesitates for a second to set up his blocks, and then he finds the opening, and then he runs through it. A very patient runner.
Certainly is. 270 plus on the front line averaging. Not the biggest line we've seen, but that's a good front line average per pound on this front 5 for Alma. A lot of experience. They have 4 of the 5 returning starters from last year on that offensive line. On 2nd down, we'll call it at 5, as Zaborowski looking at 3 receivers off the left side. Zaborowski keeps it again. This time hit a little bit in the backfield, able to crawl forward. But Mason Decker, the sophomore from West Ottawa, wraps out Zaborowski after a 1-yard gain. Check that, a 2-yard gain. It'll bring up 3rd and a long 2. And a big stop now for Hope College. They need to get the stop facing this wind. 10:42 remaining until halftime. We'll have all the scoring stats and the recap from the first half coming up on our halftime show. Man in motion is Hinkle. He gets a handoff on the wide receiver sweep. He's got a block, but now fighting through the tackle And knocking it down is Jake Pardonnet.
Jake Pardonnet shook off the block in front of him and spun that back run around. It's a loss. The Dutchman hold, and they're going to get the ball back.
How about that? They try and go outside the tackles, and Pardonnet sheds one and then another block to make the play. And Jake Pardonnet, with 4 tackles last week in the win over Olivet, the senior from Brighton, with a fantastic effort.
Now Colin Smith back out again to punt. He's taking over for Parrish Terberg as the punter for Alma.
And Alex Van Vliet, who had his longest return last week at 22, averaging just under 9 on a return, looks at a big high kick.
If they're going to Colin Smith fielded the ball with a knee down. They're going to mark him down at the point where he caught the ball at the 12, so the punt does not count. Hope's going to get the football at the Alma 12-yard line.
A huge, and I mean huge, miscue by the special teams for Alma. You don't see that too often, but the knee touched the turf on the backup punter on the low snap, and Hope College in business. They've got the wind to deal with, but they have 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line.
If it was the NFL, it would have been no problem, but in college, once your knee's down, you're down.
My goodness, they're going to mark it at the 12 officially from the near hash mark. Hope moving left to right across your dial here in the second quarter. Inside 10 minutes remaining, Hope 17, Alma 7 with Greg Chandler to my right. I'm Mike Coleman. Here at Holland, Michigan. On 1st down, sweep, Chris Lee trying to go outside, trying to get a block. Brandon Campbell trying to lead the way. Change of direction as Lee crawls inside the 10 to the 9. And I thought he was dead to rights, but he was able to pick up some positive yardage on a good run by Lee.
Nice cutback by Chris on that play. That should have been no gain. It was beautifully defended by the Scots, but Lee makes a cutback move and gets positive yardage.
His first carry of the day is good for 2, 2nd down and 8. Chris Lee averaging 9 yards a carry, 9 carries for 84 yards. Including a 58-yard scamper for his first touch on his first carry in 2017. Had not played since 2015. 2nd and 7, shotgun. Oppo keeps it on the quarterback keeper, leaps over the defender at the 5-yard line, and he went right over Zach Peterson to move his way down to the 4. Check that, the 3-yard line. So Mason Oppo, I don't know if he was a hurdler in high school, but he showed some good leaping ability. It'll bring up 3rd and 2.
We've seen some great hurling in the last couple of weeks. We saw
We have.
Brandon Campbell last week.
Must be in the water. 3rd down and 2. Hope College, 47% on the year in that category. They've got the offset eye on the shotgun formation once again. Hope on the day, 1 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. Veenstra lines up on the right side as a lone receiver. Hardy on the far side. Power right up the middle. Brandon Campbell, he'll be short of the goal line, but he should have enough for the 1st down. And if that's the case, that's not bad, Greg Chandler. They'll get 4 cracks at it from short distance.
It is a 1st down, I believe.
Now they're going to mark it at the 2.
So it'll be 1st and goal to go. They'll bring in the H-back, Chris Kelly, and the tight end Kozlowski on this 1st down. And as you said, Mike, 4 cracks from the 2-yard line.
You bet, and that wind is just howling in Hope College's face. They lead 17-7, trying to take advantage of that miscue by Alma, where the punter kneeled at the 12 on 1st down. Opple from the gun now looks towards the sideline. 6 on the play clock. They better hurry on this one. They've got 3 timeouts remaining, and they're going to have to call a timeout. Peter Sturzman wants to call a timeout, and they finally get it in.
No, they didn't.
They did not.
The back judge threw the flag.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I saw the flag come out after they signaled timeout.
Well,
they are going to give it to him. Okay, I saw the back judge throw his flag, and I thought they were going to call a delay of game. But so the clock stops with 7:55 to go in the first half here at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium. The rain has let up a little bit. It was pouring just a little bit ago. Very strong winds right now. Hope College knocking on the door with a 17-7 lead. And again, trying to take advantage of a special teams miscue.
That's the 2nd time they've had the ball deep in the territory as Alma tried to go for it on 4th down in a punting situation. They tried a little razzle-dazzle. It didn't work. But how about Peter Sturzma furiously trying to signal a timeout, and he was able to get it down. 1st and goal from the 2. Hope scored the first 17 points of this game. And Alma answered with a 9-play, 68-yard drive on 1st and goal. Ball just inside the near hash mark. Hope moving left to right on 1st down. 7:55 left. Opple looks towards the bench. 18 on the play clock. Campbell lines up right behind Opple. Chris Kelly, the H-back, off the left side of the offensive line on 1st down. 2 receivers set. Campbell gets the call off left tackle. He is stymied at the 1-yard line. And a nice tackle. That is Colton Tyson, the leading tackler for Alma, in on the stop. It'll bring up second down.
There's a flag on the play.
There is a flag.
And
Chop block.
offside is
Offense.
against Hope
Number
College.
78
Chop block.
and number 62.
Is that a 15-yarder?
15 yards from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Chop block. Oh, wow.
And that's
That's a devastating penalty. And they called it on
Noah DeVelder.
Noah DeVelder, the right tackle, the 245-pound sophomore. So that's a huge penalty, Mike.
Yeah, that one puts them all the way back to the 17-yard line. That's a 15-yarder, and that kind of changes the complexion. First and goal from the 2, now first and goal from the 17. And you hate to pass in this situation with the wind being as prevalent as it is, but Apple might be forced to go through the air.
Well, if they do, it'll probably be a short pass. I don't expect them to try to go into the end zone.
Apple 2 of 4 on the day, 7:32 remaining until halftime. Play action, and Apple trying to make something as he passes it, wings it, backhanded catch try at the 12-yard line by Chris Kelly as it sails out of bounds, incomplete. Tremendous pressure once again.
There's your guy, Dustin Tripp again, chasing his old high school teammate around, along with Derek Ellis, the Langsburg native. Second down and 17, Mike.
Well, Dustin Tripp, 17 career sacks. He's a good one, the senior from Hudsonville. He's got 6 sacks this year that leads the MIAA. And no surprise, he's been Apple's face all game long. Second down and 17.
And looks like we're going to get an...
Alma's going to call a timeout. Looks like check that. They're going to, Hope College is going to be credited with a timeout. They have 2 remaining with 7:25 left.
Well, 7:25 to go here in the first.
Oh, check. I'm sorry, Greg. Alma calls the timeout.
Alma called the timeout, so it's 7:25 to go. Hope with a second and goal from the 17-yard line of Alma. They had it at the 2, but then that chop block penalty pushed it back 15 yards. So Hope with a little bit of room to do to try to punch that ball into the end zone here and try to extend that lead.
Well, you can't fault Hope too much. They're the least penalized team in the MIAA. They're always very good in that stat, but that was as untimely as it gets, especially when you're first and goal at the 2.
Sometimes it's not the yardage in penalties, Mike, but it's the timing of that. It's if you could have 100 yards in penalties, but it's those penalties when you're in the red zone or a penalty that gives on defense that gives an opponent a first down. Those are the killers.
Well, we'll see what they dial up on 2nd and 17. Both teams have struggled through the air today. Not surprising, a very windy evening here at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium. All the action has been on the ground predominantly. 17-7, Hope College with a lead. They've never trailed on second down. Ball between the hash marks. 3 receivers, 2 on the right. High snap. Apple trying to fall on the football. He launches it right side, and that one out of bounds. A wise play by the sophomore, able to get the football for 1 after the high snap by Zach Smith, and able to throw it incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 17.
Yeah, Apple's football instinct just took over on that play.
Wow.
He saw the play was going nowhere, and he just heaved it out of danger.
Zach Smith, the sophomore from Sutton's Bay, the center, in his 5th career start. Very reliable snapper in that shotgun formation, but that one sailed over Apple's head. 3rd down. A lot of changes now as number 10 checks out for Alma. That is John Martinez, the freshman, getting a lot of playing time. 3 on the front line for Alma on 3rd down. Apple has time. Now fires far side. That one a high floater. Kozlowski with a catch at the 3-yard line.
Oh, they called it incomplete.
As he is hit, as he falls out of bounds, the ball falls out of his hands. I thought he might have it enough for a completion as far as the time.
Brandon Moore, the senior from Kindon, North Huron, over in the thumb region, hit Kozlowski as Jake looked like he made the catch, and he dislodged the football, and the official was right on top of the call. He said that Kozlowski didn't have complete possession. It's an incomplete pass. Darren Ford's going to try a field goal, and this is going to be fun. This is going to be a 34-yard attempt into this win.
You bet. In your face, a little bit to his left, ball between the hash marks. Ford's kick is up. It's a low liner, and that one is through the uprights. What a kick, and no guarantee with that win, and a nice hold by David Boss. Well, they come away with 3 points when they had first and goal at the 2, so they take the lead. They extend the lead 20-7 with 7:04 remaining until halftime.
Well, if you're Greg Piscadna on the Alma sideline, you got to be absolutely thrilled that you gave up just 3 points on that possession, considering where Hope got the football after the punter inadvertently dropped to a knee trying to field a punt and gave Hope the football at the 12-yard line. So if you hold Hope to 3 after that, you'll take it.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. But this Alma defense, we talk about the offense, and they're making some big plays, especially the last couple touches. They are able to be scored upon. They give up 29 points a game. That's 5th out of 7 teams in the MIAA. So Hope College has proven that they're able to score on a pretty experienced Alma defense as they bring back 6 starters here in 2017. And now Darren Ford with his second field goal of the day. He's got 4 on the year, 4 of 6 on the year officially, and he's made his last 4 kicks. And now he'll boot this into that ambitious wind. Hinkle and Luckhurst stand at their own 5. Couple up backs in front of them at the 20. From the 35, ball at the far hash mark. 7:04 left until halftime. So you're right, Greg Chandler. That 3 points that you came away with something. As they took the ball over at the miscue. Big high kick, end over end. A nice kick by Ford, 2 yards deep is Hinkle. He's going to run it out, far side, 5-10. Keeps it on the far side of the hash, 15-20. Works his way to the 25-30. And he worked it all on the far side, on walking the tightrope on the sideline. That was a nice return by Luckhurst of about 32 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 28.
Yeah, if you're the kickoff coverage, you want that ball kicked toward the corner of the end zone. That's a beautiful return, but that's exactly how you want to kick the ball, to try to shorten the field and give your coverage guys a chance to get down there. But a nice job by the return man to make some yardage out of it.
And after Luckhurst hesitated slightly before he decided to run that out, so Alma 1st and 10. They'll mark it at the 29, their own 29. On 1st down, inside 7 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. 20-7 Hope. Zaborowski on 1st down. 2-hit drop, and he is dropped. And Zaborowski dropped inside the 20-yard line. Zach Telfer, the senior from Charlotte, with another sack. That is number 3 on the year for Zach Telfer. How about that?
Yeah, Telfer just shed his blocker, and he went straight to the quarterback that time and spun him around and dropped him. A loss of 11 back to the 18-yard line. Or check that, the 21-yard line, loss of 8.
Hope College had 17 sacks coming in. That leads the MIAA on 2nd down and 18. From the far hash mark, bunch formation on the right side. Zaborowski trying to pass, slings it far side. Diving attempt by Yancey. Did he come up with it? Yes, he did. And that one good for 8 yards. Yancey, the leading receiver for Alma, picks up his first catch, gets back almost to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd and 10. Big stop for Hope College coming up with 6:03 and counting here in the second quarter.
But again, it's a 3rd and long situation. That's the type of situation you want to be in if you're the Hope defense.
Alma 3 of 8 on the year offensively in this game. Offensively from 3rd down conversions, 42% on the year. That's 3rd in the league. Zaborowski has time. Moves up in the pocket, fires it over to Kozart, off the hands, tried to one-arm grab it, and that one tipped in the air. Luke Beckhusen almost had a handle on the interception, but an incomplete pass, and they draw a 4th down and punt situation. Good hold by Hope defensively.
Yeah, and nice play by Luke Beckhusen. Kozart was open momentarily down the middle, and Beckhusen got a hand in there and knocked it away and prevented the reception, and the Dutchmen are going to get the ball back.
Kozart was in stride. If he was able to get that football, that would have been a race to the end zone. On 4th down, here's Colin Smith. Back to field this is Van Vliet. A short end-over-end kick, and that one goes off the far sideline at the 40. We'll see where they mark the side. Judd goes crawling up the sideline, and that's going to be close to midfield.
That's going to be in Alma territory.
It is, at the 49 or 48. A short kick.
So once again, Hope's going to have a short field to work with, and that's been the story in the first half. They have consistently been operating on the Alma side of the field.
That is a 19-yard punt, and we've seen a 12-yarder and a 19-yarder, and this is a cause of concern for Alma. They came in as a team averaging just 33 yards per kick. That has hurt them so far in this game. So Hope, with 5:36 left, takes the ball over in Alma territory at the 49. Far hash mark as a location is where they will scrimmage on 1st and 10. Mason Oppel 2 of 8 in the game. Hope with 164 yards of offense. Alma 77. Handoff straight up the middle. A fumble at the 40, picked up in the backfield. And Alma on the move, trying to move to the outside as Brandon Campbell coughs it up, his 3rd fumble of the year. And the turnover, number 1 in the game, and Alma takes advantage with good field position on the fumble giveaway by Hope College.
I think it was Brandon Harper, the 6'3 senior, 220-pound senior from Unionville Seaboing, USA High. he dislodged the football. He stuck his shoulder right into the midsection of Brandon Campbell and dislodged the football. The Scots pick it up. First turnover of the ball game goes against the Flying Dutchman.
Brandon Campbell wearing kind of a cast on his left wrist. He is not happy at the moment as he strides down, storming on the sidelines. His third fumble of 2017. He's going to try and walk it off. Gives Alma 1st and 10 from their own 45. 5:26 on the clock until halftime. Zaborowski, 3-step drop, fires. That one far side complete to Yancey, and he was able to get 2 feet in. It will be close to the first down marker, but Yancey now finding his second straight reception in the offense for Alma.
Yancey ran a curl route to the sideline that time. Mason Rosado gave away a couple of yards, and Yancey was able to haul that one in.
Yancey had 4 grabs last week. He came in with 16 catches. That leads the Scots offensively in the receiving department. Pickup of 9, 2nd down and a half yard. Clock winding now inside, 5 minutes remaining. Hinkle lines up in the slot, left side. Flanking 2 to the left, 1 to the right for Zaborowski. Quarterback keeper kind of hesitates like he does, trying to pick his spot. He is enough for the first down. Driven down at the 40-yard line. Brandon Ellsworth, the senior from Weberville, Michigan, drops Zaborowski, but not before the Scots move the chains. First downs on the day. Alma was 6, Hope was 7. And inside Hope College territory at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10. 2 timeouts for both teams. Ball just inside the far hash mark. Reinhardt, power sweep, lowers the head at the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a pair, but he is met outside the hash mark. Looks like Mason Rosado came in, the senior cornerback from Holland, from the secondary with Jake Zansky to make the tackle.
Yeah, and Mason Decker also in the neighborhood as well.
You bet.
They strung that play out very well. Only a gain of 2 for Reinhardt.
Reinhardt's been able to be tempered in this game somewhat, coming off a big game last week, 147 yards on 13 carries. Had a 65-yard touchdown run and 3 touchdowns. 2nd down and 8. Reinhardt in the game. 8 carries, 24 yards. Man in motion is Hingle to the near side. Zaborowski drops back, fires. Another curl route out to Yancey. Forward progress should give him enough for the first down. And that's just one-on-one coverage, Greg. Rosado playing off him, and Yancey hauls in his 3rd pass.
Well, Mason Rosado doesn't want to get beat deep, so Yancey's taking advantage of it, cutting the route short, and Zaborowski got on the ball along the far sideline, 1st down.
Bunch formation left side, fakes a handoff onto the receiver. Zaborowski up the middle, hits, spins off the tackle inside the 20, and football is loose at the 16-yard line. Hope College picks up the fumble. Turnover, Alma.
Nick Holt, the Muskegon Catholic Central product, got the recovery. Zaborowski had the ball dislodged, and I think Alma's arguing that Zaborowski was down, and the officials are saying it's Hope College football.
Well, we had some strong rain start about 20 minutes ago. Football getting loose, very slick, and now we've seen back-to-back fumbles. Second effort by Zaborowski hurt him as he coughed up the pill.
So Hope College gets its first turnover of the ball game. They'll have it at their 17, and the rain is starting to pick back up again, Mike.
Yeah, a driving rain in their face, wind in their face here in this second quarter. They lead 20-7 to the Flying Dutchman, averaging 34 points per game. Campbell, the lone back, play action, pass on the flat, complete to Ryan Veenstra. Nice little curl pattern of his own. He's able to get a couple yards after the catch. Nice pickup of 9 for Veenstra. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
Well, Mason threw that ball with authority that time. Again, you're dealing with those windy conditions, and those are the type of plays that you can pass the ball on. He's not going to be able to go deep, but that type of pass will work.
2nd down for Veenstra. Caught his first pass last week in 2017. Campbell gets the call, hit at the line of scrimmage, and he is dropped. He may lose a yard, as inside that scrum pile, you guessed it, Dustin Tripp wearing number 40. With the hammer on Campbell.
Yeah, Tripp has been everywhere for Alma in this first half, and he just stuck his head right in the middle of the pile and stops Campbell. Loss of a yard. Now, Hope now with a 3rd and 2, and with 2:45 left in the half, Hope wants to get a first down and move that, keep moving that chain, not let Alma get the ball back.
Absolutely. This is one of the biggest plays of the game. They lead 20-7, but a big play on 3rd down. Pitch, right side. Campbell changes direction, cuts back upfield. First down and more at the 30 as the motion went to the near side. Campbell went against the grain. He's dropped by Hernandez, but not before he picks up the first down on a big play on 3rd and 2.
It looked like Alma had the play strung out well, but Brandon makes a nice cutback move against the grain, able to get enough yardage for the first down.
Campbell averaging over 9 yards a carry in this one. He had a 55-yard rush to set up a score on 1st and 10. Clock over 2 minutes remaining. Floating pass. Good two-handed grab by Veenstra as he backhands it at the 37-yard line. Good pickup of 6 yards. He's forced out of bounds. More importantly, it stops the clock with 2:06 remaining. They're going to give him 7 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 3. They've got to get to their own 41. Ball at the 38 from the near hash mark. Veenstra lines up as a lone receiver on the short side of the field, right side. 2nd down, Campbell, check that, Chris Lee. Kind of a funky exchange between Oppel and Lee. It went high, almost under his chin, and Lee was able to pick up maybe 1 yard.
And Cameron Lee, the young man from Lansing Waverly, his dad, Russ, the former athletic trainer for Holland High School. Russ came by to see us. He's had some medical issues. It was great to see him before the game. And Cameron, a senior, playing his last year, and doing a nice job of filling the hole that time.
Sure is. Cameron Lee, the 6'1 senior, 274 from Lansing Waverly. Another big 3rd down play, 3rd and 3. 3 receiver set, offset eye, play action, pass in the flat, and that one is complete to Christian Boss at the 50, inside Scott territory. The first catch of the day for Christian Boss. On a high pass, he was able to corral it for a first down.
That ball floated up there, but Christian Boss doing a nice job of adjusting to the football, went high to make the grab. He caught it at its highest point. First down, Hope College in Alma territory as we tick down to a minute to play.
Second straight 3rd down conversion, 4 of 8 on the day for Hope. Inside a minute left from the 46-yard line. Oppel content to go in the flat to Chris Lee, trying to walk that tight line on the sidelines, pushed out of bounds at the 42, which stops the clock at 53.3. If you can somehow get in field goal position, I think that's what Hope is shooting for. They've got 2 timeouts remaining. Alma with 2 as well. 20-7 Hope. They had a 17-0 lead. And Alma scored, and then Hope College with a field goal to extend their lead to 13. We saw Brandon Campbell 29-yard touchdown run and a Christian Boss 17-yard pass. Now Oppel in trouble, just gets it away to Chris Lee. He'll be close to the first down marker, refusing to go down. And
I think he got it.
He got it.
And Mason Oppel, that was not a pass, that was a shot put.
It was a shot put.
And he was about to be tackled in the backfield, and he kind of heaved it forward, more like a shot put, and he got it to Lee, and Chris, with great second effort, able to pick up the first down.
And now a timeout wisely called by head coach Peter Sturzma in his 2nd year. And Peter Sturzma, 10-4 in his short career. What a year he had last year. The Hope College started out 1-3, and then or 1-2 or 1-3, excuse me, and then they finished 7-3. They win their last 6 games, and now with a 3-1 record, mile, things have turned for the Flying Dutchman in the football program.
Well, yeah, and Hope now with a situation with 1 more first down. I think they can get into Darren Ford's field goal range. We got 40.9 seconds to go in the half. Hope still with a timeout to burn, and trying to add to that lead. And with a field goal, it's a 16-point lead where you put Alma in a spot where they essentially need 3 scores to take the lead, or 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions.
You bet. We have seen Darren Ford bang a 46-yarder last year. He's good from 45 this year, so he definitely has a leg. As the wind kind of moving from 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock right now, depending, that's where Hope's vantage point is, facing off to the right. So it's kind of a side slant wind on 1st and 10. 40.9 seconds remaining. 3 receivers for Mason Oppel on first down from the Alma 35. High snap. Oppel straight drop back and pass in the flat, complete to Chris Lee. How about utilizing Chris Lee the last couple weeks out of the backfield? Great stuff.
I think that's a great alternative, and that gives Mason Oppel another receiver to go to in addition to his wide receivers. That's a great option to have out of the backfield.
You bet. Lee had 3 grabs last week for 94. He's got 3 grabs today, and 3 catches for 16 yards. 2nd down, we'll call it a long 6. 36.9 seconds remaining. Tight end to the left side. Oppel with a straight drop back. Has time. Passing the flat to Chris Lee. And now he moves towards the middle of the field. Lowers ahead to the 20 inside the 18. He could have gone out of bounds, but he picks up about 6 extra yards. And now Hope just trying to spike the football as the clock stopped to move the chains. They've got a timeout left with 26.5 left.
And Mason Oppel's going to clock the football here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he does. A good, smart move by the sophomore from Hudsonville. So they'll bring up 1st and 10, or check that, 2nd and 10.
So clock stops at 23.1 seconds, and they're actually going to put some time back on the clock, it looks like. Hope has the ball in the red zone at the Alma 20-yard line, and they are in Darren Ford's field goal range. But Hope, I'm sure Oppel will take a shot at the end zone here.
Well, you'd like to think he would. Definitely within Darren Ford's range. 2nd and 10 at the 20 of Alma. Back to pass. Oppel in trouble, trying to move. Hit high, hit low. Somehow finds his way to the 15 as he picks up 5. And Hope College will burn their last time out with 16.3 seconds left until halftime.
Oppel got pressure. Guess who again? Austin Tripp. He forced Oppel to run with it, and Oppel got tackled in bounds, and that resulted in Hope having to burn its final timeout. As the rain continues to come down in buckets here at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium, 16.3 seconds to go in the half. Hope leading 20-7. They have a 2nd and 6 at the Scott's 16-yard line.
Speaking of Dustin Tripp, he was the MIAA Defensive Player of the Week last week for his efforts. He had 10 tackles, 3 sacks, and 4.5 tackles for loss in that win over Kalamazoo. So
are you surprised?
Not at all. He had a great game last year against Hope College, too. Tripp, the high school teammate of Mason Oppel, and Dustin Tripp had a tackle for loss last year, 4 tackles in that loss to Hope College at Balke Field. 20-7 Hope College. Would like to see at least a field goal, if not 6 points would be optimal. But they might have time for 2 plays. You figure they have to go towards the sideline or maybe take a shot in the end zone. Mason Oppel on the day has been very successful with the curl pattern passes here in this drive. He was 2 for 9 at one point, and now he is 9 for 16. So he's been 7 for his last 7. On 2nd and 6, he'll drop straight back, looking left, flushed out of the pocket. He fires it wide, intended for Chris Lee. A wise play by Oppel, but now we got a flag in the backfield. It's going to go against Hope.
Okay, and that's actually, now Alma's got an option here. It's 3rd down. Do you take the penalty and push them out of field goal range, or do you roll the down box and make Hope try to kick it? It looks like they're going to probably push Hope back, which actually I think would be the smart call here.
I think thinking about it for a moment, it might be true because we're looking at a 40-yard plus field goal. At the point of infraction at the 25, they will move this football. Well, they're just the ball. I'm sorry. The ball is at the 25-yard line, 3rd and 16.
Actually, it's 4th down.
I checked that.
Oh, that is 3rd. Looks like Hope's going to try and kick a field goal. Darren Ford is out there right now with Christian Boss holding. 9.9 seconds left. This is going to be a 43-yard field goal. Into
a wind, and this would be a mighty effort. And now a whistle as the kick is up, and that one.
That was straight through the uprights. We're going to get a timeout, though, beforehand taken by Alma.
My goodness.
And Ford got plenty of leg into that one. Again, with that strong swirling wind right now.
Well, he definitely had enough leg, that's for sure. And the referees in the end zone did not signal, but that one right through the uprights. So the last timeout check that, Alma has 1 timeout remaining. And Greg Piscotna trying to ice Ford. He called that a millisecond before that ball was snapped.
I like that word, millisecond.
It was about that close.
So now you got a situation. Darren Ford, who has made his last 4 field goal attempts, will try the field goal.
And now Ford with some warm-up kicks. Well, he started out a little slow this year, but just like last year, he's come on with a vengeance, and he's been such a dynamite part of the special teams. He has made his last 4 field goals here in 2017.
Well, at this level, particularly in Division III, you're never quite sure what you're going to get in special teams. And if you got a guy on special teams, a guy like a Darren Ford, that is such a weapon.
How about this? They pull off Darren Ford on 3rd and 16.
to try and run a play here and then maybe try to set Ford up for a field goal.
Can they have enough time? 9.9 seconds remaining. 3 receiver set. Oppel, 2-step drop, pass in the flat, complete to Christian Boss. They'll mark him out at the 17. So this will be about a 34-yarder, so they pick up 7 or 8 yards. So a good call with 5.9 seconds remaining.
And they only took 4 seconds off the clock in doing that, Mike. Very nicely executed. The Alma defensive back peeled off about 5 yards. Christian Boss just cut the route off, and Mason Apple was just a nice little pitch and catch.
Well, with this wind, 7 or 8 yards could be huge on the snap from Fairfield. Boss on the hold from the 24-yard line, and now Alma looks like they're going to call their last timeout. They're going to try and ice Darren Ford. I don't think you can ice this kid. He's something else. But you take your shots, as Piscadna, the head coach for Alma, calls their final timeout with 5.9 seconds remaining until halftime.
Well, and Mike, you can't carry over the timeout from the first half to the second half. Why not take it if it's at your disposal?
That's true. Yep, absolutely. Well, we've had driving rain pretty much at the end of the first quarter and continuing up till now with the steady rain. We knew this was coming in, and ball security is vital as both teams have fumbled the football in opposing territory. Hope College with a fumble. Alma took over, drove it down inside the 40 of Hope College, and they fumbled the football. So it's been a game of turnovers here in the second quarter. And now Darren Ford from the left hash mark. This is a great angle for a red leg kicker. This will be a 34-yarder. He's had 1 kick today. So on the hold from David Boss. Here we go. 5.9 seconds remaining. Rush is on by Alma. Good snap. Kick is up, and that one is good from 34. Bingo!
And that would have been good from about 44, Mike. Plenty of leg by Darren that time. He knocks it through, and it's a 23-7 Hope College lead, and they head to the locker room. It's halftime.
How about that? Those 3 points are about as key points, and we've seen the whole first half because they came away with something with good field position on a nice drive. Now Hope College checking out, but now we've got the referees talking about something on the field.
They may put a second or two back on the clock. They're gonna put time back on the clock. So we're gonna have a kickoff, and then we'll go to the half here.
Boy, all of Hope College, the football bench was off the bench and heading towards the left side. So now they all come back.
Peter Sturzman having a conversation with one of the officials there discussing that situation, and I don't know if it was the side judge that caught the time on the clock. They put 1.9 seconds back on the clock, so Darren Ford will execute a kickoff here, and this will be the final play of the first half.
I don't think that was an amicable conversation between Peter Sturzman and the side judge. Sturzman gets his money worth. I tell you, the second-year head coach, a Hope graduate, and now the head coach in his second season here with the Flying Dutchman. So we'll see what kind of strategy the special teams use with Hinkle and Luckhurst back. They're 2 good return men for Alma, 23-7. In case you just joined us, Hope College busted out to a 17-0 lead. Alma with a 9-play drive made it 17-7, and now back-to-back field goals for Hope has extended their lead to 16. Ball at the 35. Boy, the special teams play has been phenomenal this year for Hope. Here comes Ford with the boot. He'll just pooch it over the first 2 lines. One of the upbacks of the 25, fielded at the 25, changing direction at the 30, and a collision as Logan Shadiah puts a hit on number 86, Joe Schaefer. Joey Schaefer, the freshman tight end from Lowell, Michigan, and getting some action in special teams, is knocked out of bounds, and now we are officially at halftime.
And as the rain comes pouring down here, we are at the half at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium. The Flying Dutchman trying to go to 4-1 in the MIAA. They'll take a 23-7 lead to the locker room at the half. And when we come back, we'll have our halftime show. You're listening to Hope College football on the Lakeshore's 92.7 The Van and 92.7thevan.com.
We've intentionally never had minimum account sizes. Our philosophy has always been if you're willing to put in the work and we'll collaborate and we set the plan in place and you're willing to go along with this plan and to put forth effort to this plan, we're happy to work with you. It's what we love to do. And so we have people coming in from the very starting point all the way to, to the wealthy people. It's all different scenarios. Financial planning is not just for the wealthy.
Catholic Central. And Hope then put together its longest drive of the day, 14 plays, 66 yards. And on the final play of the first half, or the next to last play of the first half actually, Ford kicked his third field goal of the game, a 34-yarder, into a very tough wind, swirling wind here at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium as the rain continues to fall. And that has Hope out in front by a score of 23-7, and that is where we are right now. When we come back here on our halftime report, we'll go over the numbers for you from the first half. You're listening to Hope College Football on the Lakeshore's 92.7 The Van and 927thevan.com.
My 32 years, I can look back at clients and realize that when I started with them in my mid-30s, I was one of many professionals in their life. But since then, their doctors retired, their attorneys retired, their ministers retired, all the key people in their life retired, but we're still there. And over time, we end up being very, very close to our clients. It's very hard to talk about your financial history without talking about your family history. We get to know it, we keep it confidential, and you can't help but begin to love these people.
With 92 yards through the air, Alma with 31. Boy, if you told me at the top of the broadcast, Mike Coleman, that Mason Apple would have 3 times as much passing yardage as Dylan Zaborowski, I would have said you're crazy.
Absolutely. Zaborowski came into this game. He was second in the league in yards per game and just having all sorts of trouble, especially in that first quarter when he went to the air a lot into that stiff wind.
Total offense, 248 yards for Hope on 39 plays. Alma 117 yards on 37 attempts. For third down conversions, Hope 4 out of 9, Alma 3 out of 9. Hope 4 for 4 on red zone opportunities in this ball game. Each team with a fumble that they lost, no interceptions in the ball game. Individually, for Hope, Brandon Campbell went over the 2,000-yard mark for his career, 123 yards on 13 carries, including a 55-yard run at one point in the ball game. Dylan Zaborowski had 12 rushes for 70 yards for Alma. Caleb Reinhardt, who came in with averaging over 140 yards a game, has been limited to 24 yards on 8 carries. In the passing game, Mason Apple 10 of 16 for 92 yards for Hope. Zaborowski 4 of 11 for 31 yards for Alma. Chris Lee with 4 catches for Hope for 27 yards. Christian Boss 3 grabs for 42 yards and a touchdown. On the defensive side of the ball, Griffin Weigel with 6 tackles, 5 of them solo stops. Jake Pardnay had 5 tackles, 4 of them solo stops. On the Alma side, Colton Tyson with 7 tackles, including 4 solo stops. And then Derek Ellis and John Martinez also been very busy as well for the Alma Scots.
Yeah, there's been a lot of pressure on for both defenses on the quarterback, and 2 quarterbacks that are able to scramble. But unfortunately, you look at the passing numbers, and I think that that need to scramble has affected their numbers as the completion percentage is down for both teams.
I would agree with that, definitely, Mike. We're going to send it back to the studio, and when we come back, we'll update you on some college football scores. We'll give you the full roundup of what happened in the MIAA today, and we'll update you on some other college football results as well. Here on our halftime show, 23-7, the Dutchmen lead against Alma College. You're listening to Hope Football on the Lakeshore's 92.7 The Van and 927thevan.com.
Thanks, Alan. All
Okay.
right. Thank you, Ben.
CMU beat Ohio. Is it triple overtime now? So it's, what, 45-45 now? Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Well, in the third overtime, after they score a touchdown, you have to go for 2.
honey. Did you remember to bring the GPS?
Nope.
Oh. Well, you have an app on your phone to tell us how to get where we're going?
I do not.
Really? So you have an actual map, like the kind that are hard to fold?
Uh-uh.
You just know where you're going?
No idea.
Don't be this guy when it comes to financial planning. LVZ Advisors. We'll help get you there.
Hey, we're a little lost. Do you know where the lake is? All right.
.361 yards and 3 touchdowns. Cornelius Saxton, the fine receiver for the Comets, had 10 catches for 166 yards, and Javon Walker had 2 interceptions for the Comets. And at venerable Sprandel Stadium in Albion, the Britons got spanked at home today by Trine. The Thunder rained down thunder on the Britons, 56-27. It was 49-7 at the half. Lamar Carswell had 204 yards rushing on just 10 carries. He scored 3 touchdowns. He had a 72-yard run. Jeffrey Barnett had 3 touchdown catches of 77, 40, and 9 yards, and he also had a 99-yard kickoff return for a score. The Trine defense intercepted 4 Albion passes. And how about this number? Evan Wise, their quarterback for Trine. How's this for a stat line, Mike? 5 of 6 passing. He only threw 6 passes the entire game, completed 5. 172 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's fairly efficient.
I like to see that passer efficiency rating on that guy.
That offense for Trine's amazing. So Albion loses big. They have 417 yards of total offense, but then Trine trumps them with 535. And the offense prowess in the conference this year is nothing short of spectacular.
It's crazy. But Adrian played Lakeland. Of course, we had the game with Lakeland a few weeks ago when Hope got by on the skin of their teeth, 37-35. The Muskies and the Bulldogs had a shootout in Sheboygan today. They put 87 points on the board between the two teams. Lakeland got the last answer, and the Muskies beat the Bulldogs by a score of 47-40.
Yeah, that's fantastic, too, and we're going to see Adrian next week. Emmanuel Stewart and David Nutter had 161 and 150 yards respectively.
Oh, my gosh.
But Lakeland's Michael Whitley, 12 of 26. He was the leading rusher on the day, but he was 21 of 39 through the air for over 400 yards and 7 touchdown passes. He's got some serious receiving athletes on that club.
Well, we saw Whitley. Whitley was sensational against Hope College a couple of weeks ago. That guy can distribute the ball to the receivers, and they got some guys on the edge that can play. Lakeland's going to be a tough out in their conference. They are tough.
Yeah, and Whitley went to 5 different receivers as part of his 7 touchdown package today.
Taking a look at some other scores, they're just getting underway at the Big House in Ann Arbor. Michigan playing Michigan State. Central beat Ohio today, 26-23. They've got a wild one going on in Buffalo between Western Michigan and Buffalo. They are in the 3rd overtime. It is tied at 45 between the Broncos and the Buffalo Bulls. The big upset of the day in college football, in case you missed it, occurred in Norman, Oklahoma. Iowa State had beaten Oklahoma 1 time since 1961. And the Cyclones invaded Norman today and upset Baker Mayfield and the Sooners 38-31, and they did it with a 3rd-string quarterback.
That's even more amazing, and they were down 17-7 at one point, and they somehow find a way on the road, and that's really going to squelch Oklahoma's national championship aspirations.
Take a look at some other major college scores. Texas A&M with an early 3-0 lead against number 1 Alabama. Number 2 Clemson beat Wake Forest 28-14. Number 4 Penn State at Evanston beat Northwestern 31-7. Number 5 Georgia over Vanderbilt 45-14. Number 8 TCU over West Virginia. Number 23 Mountaineers 31-24. Number 12 Auburn over Ole Miss 44-23. Number 13 Miami of Florida over Florida State in that traditional rivalry 24-20. Number 21 Notre Dame beat North Carolina 33-10. Number 21 Florida upset by LSU 17-16. They're getting underway in about 30 minutes, Mike. Your Wisconsin Badgers, number 9 in the country, playing in Lincoln against Big Red, the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
And that's always a tough place to play in Lincoln on the road against Nebraska. But, yeah, some nice games going on tonight. Michigan State as well, and getting some national attention on that contest.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and the rain continuing to fall here at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium. You're listening to Hope College football on the Lake Shores, 92.7 The Van and 92.7thevan.com.
We've intentionally never had minimum account sizes. Our philosophy has always been, if you're willing to put in the work and we'll collaborate and we set the plan in place and you're willing to go along with this plan and to put forth effort to this plan, we're happy to work with you. It's what we love to do. And so we have people coming in from the very starting point all the way to, to the wealthy people. It's all different scenarios. Financial planning is not just for the wealthy.
I don't know what that rule is on that.
Tonight, Corey, I'm with this. You're in. Darren Ford had a
Back here with you at Ray and Sue Smith State. Get the second half underway. Let's update you on some other Hope College sports news. In volleyball today, the Flying Dutch, who lost last night at home to Trine, struggled against Olivet today. They dropped the first two sets. They rally late, though. They win 21-25, 22-25. 25-15, 25-13, 21-19. Katie Reaper got 20 kills for the Flying Dutch. Hope now 8-2 in the MIAA, 12-6 overall. They had the women's golf MIAA championships this weekend, and Hope finished second. They ended up with 644 strokes. St. Mary's, congratulations to the Bells of St. Mary's. They win the championship. They had a team score of 615. Megan Clintworth of Hope, the senior from Hanover Horton, was the conference medalist for the third time in her career. She was the medalist her freshman year. She did it again last year, and she's the medalist again this year. So congratulations to Megan Clintworth. Hope finishing second in the MIAA. And next spring, the top four teams in this year, they will move on and play in the automatic qualifier to determine who will go to the NCAA tournament. Men's soccer, that's going on right now in Kalamazoo. The Flying Dutchman trailing against Kalamazoo 1-0. Coming up next week, the women's soccer team will be home for a 7 o'clock kick on Tuesday against Olivet. On Wednesday, Hope will be home against Adrian College, 6:30 match time there. Big game, as always. Hope plays Calvin on Wednesday night, 7 o'clock kick at Van Andel Soccer Stadium. So that's some of the things going on in Hope College sports. The Flying Dutchmen are going to get the football to start the second half, and they're going to be working into that strong wind as the rain continues to fall here, Mike.
That is true, but I will tell you this, Greg. We will have the wind in the fourth quarter, so they're getting the ball into the wind to start the second half, but they will have the wind for the fourth quarter, so we'll take it right now. That bodes very well.
Well, right now, Mike, with the rain, the slippery conditions on the field, you got a 16-point lead. Ball security absolutely huge, Mike.
And I'm surprised we only saw 2 turnovers in that first half. Both teams with consecutive fumbles on consecutive drives, and teams were able to take care of the football. But we'll see how things go. Things a lot more rain coming down, and things are getting a little bit more moist here at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium.
So far, we've just had rain. We've not had any lightning, so we've not had any delays in this game.
And I think looking at the line of storms, we may be able to hold off the severe stuff, but this is windy and very rainy right now, so we'll see how things pan out.
Well, I see some of the umbrellas here. With that wind, it's actually turning some of the umbrellas inside out. Here we go, Mike.
Here's the kick, a short end-over-end kick. Fielded on one bounce. Christian Boss of the 20 cuts it inside to the 25-30. We got a whistle as Boss still on his feet at the 40, finally driven down at the 45-yard line. Good special teams tackle by number 32, Brandon Moore. But we got a penalty to start things off.
The flag was thrown back at the 37-yard line. I think we're going to get an illegal block. We're going to get a hold against Hope College, so this is going to nullify part of the return. So that's Hope's going to start with the football inside their 30.
Well, a 25-yard return would have taken them to the 45, but at the point of infraction, which is the 38, they will indeed start right around their own 20. They're going to mark at the 27-yard line. Like we mentioned, staring into that big wind. A lot of rain here at the moment here at Ray and Sousa Stadium. Mari Hardy getting his first start, lines up on the near side, the freshman from Mona Shores. Oppel in the offset eye on first down from the shotgun. Chris Kelly, the H-back. Oppel keeps it on first down, has a little bit of a seam, is able to creep between Justin Fairfield and Noah DeVelder off that right side. Gets a nice pickup on the quarterback keeper of 5 yards, 2nd and 5. Ball resting at the near hash mark. Hope College in the no-huddle offense. You rarely see a huddle anymore. Both these teams in the no-huddle situation. 4 on the front line defensively for Alma on 2nd down. One receiver flank left, one right. High snap. Give to Campbell. Kind of stutter step through the middle to the 35, but no more. Finished off by Joe Hernandez III, the nose guard, on an initial hit by Zach Peterson. Peterson, one of the linebackers, the senior from Holt. Second on the team with 38 tackles. Had 10 tackles last week. 3-yard pickup by Campbell. Campbell had 123 yards in that first half. 3rd down and 2. Big play to start this initial drive here in the second half. Oppel, good snap. Keeps the football. First down and more. 40, 45 inside Alma territory. Little slay of hand. Fake the handoff to Campbell. Oppel kept it up the middle. And Oppel over 40 yards on the day. Picks up a big yardage gain on a quick hitter inside Scott territory. Great numbers in the 3rd down conversion rate for Hope today. 5 of 10. They came in at 47%. And that is 2nd in the MIAA on first down. Content to keep it on the ground. Campbell has room at the 50. Hop steps a tackler and dropped inside the 40 to the 39. On the stop is Colton Tyson, but not before Campbell romps and stomps for 12 yards and picks up the first down. How about that? Brandon Campbell just kind of biding his time, took it outside the right tackle, and he is in business, and so are his Flying Dutchman offense on first down. H-back Kelly lines up on the left side. 2 receivers for Mason Oppel on first down from the Alma 39. Another handoff to Campbell straight over the middle. He is hit high, and he is hogtied as a helmet tackle. Dylan Bergman, the sophomore from Williamston, wrestled Campbell down by the helmet. Now Campbell will check out. And we got Tim Pletcher checking back in. Pletcher wearing number 15, the junior from Osceola, Indiana, Penn High School product. He had 64 yards last year. That was a career high for Pletcher as a sophomore. Lost to 1 by Campbell, 2nd and 11. Veenstra to the left, Hardy to the right. No tight end in this formation, but a bunch formation on the left side. Chris Lee is trying to get open on the left side. Oppel has to keep it, and he is sandwiched at the 43. Nowhere to go. Good coverage on Lee as Lee tried to get open on the left side. Oppel was looking at him, but that was a pass that was very successful in the late minutes of the second quarter, and nowhere to go. Takes a yard loss. It'll bring up 3rd and 13. Wind continues to howl in the face of the Flying Dutchman here in the third quarter. Approaching 3 minutes of this drive, we started at the 27. At the Alma 42-yard line on 3rd down and 13. 2 receivers flank left, 1 right for Mason Oppel. Chris Lee behind Oppel. High snap, give straight up the middle. Lee with room, 40, 35, change of direction, spin move, and he's wrapped down. He had to get to the 30. He's going to be 5 yards short. Spirited effort by Chris Lee. They tried to keep it off right tackle and keep it on the ground, and it'll bring up 4th down and 5 from the 34 of Alma. Hope College, it looks like they will go for it on 4th and 5. Nobody better at popping it inside the 20-yard line than Darren Ford, and a little bit of a roster change now on the lineup. Brandon Campbell checks in, Mari Hardy checks in, Ryan Veenstra checks in as well, with Logan Shadiah, the H-back, lines up on the right side just off the offensive line on 4th down and 5. On the day, Hope College, this will be their first 4th down conversion try, and now we got a timeout by Hope College early on here in this third quarter. And a good timeout. There's a lot at stake in this play on 4th and 5, and they'll talk things over. So Hope leads 23-7. In case you just joined us, Hope jumped out to a 17-0 lead, and they had the majority of the total offense in the first half, but then Alma scored a really important touchdown. A 9-play, 68-yard drive made it 17-7. Then back-to-back field goals by Darren Ford, who has 3 field goals on the game. He has one off his own record and an MIAA record of 4 field goals last year on the 15th of October at Adrian in that big win over the Bulldogs. Would not be surprised if he is employed here before it's all said and done to boot another one. But Hope on the year in 4th down conversions, they are 3 of 6. That's 4th in the league. So they're going to keep the offense on the field here on 4th and 5. Check that. Darren Ford will be asked to come on and punt the football away. Alex Van Vliet checks in as a member of the special teams. Darren Ford, 2 punts today, 49-yard average. He had one 47-yarder into a very stiff wind, and now Hinkle stands at his own 10. No doubt Ford's going to try and angle this one to try and get it inside the 20-yard line. Rush is on, and a little pooch kick high, and that one sails into the end zone. So that punt goes for 34 yards straight up the hash marks, and 1st and 10 for Alma at their own 20, as Darren Ford wasn't able to keep it outside the end zone. So Alma will get their first touch here in the second half. Inside 11 minutes remaining with Greg Chandler. I'm Mike Coleman. Our thanks to Ben Weingarten back at our 92.7 The Van studios. Well, check out the Lakeshore's wake-up call with Brent Allen weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 92.7 The Van and online at 927thevan.com. Music, conversation, Brent Allen. On 1st and 10, Dylan Zaborowski, 4 of 11 in that first half. He'll keep it on the quarterback counter straight up the middle, now brushes it to the outside the hash marks, crawls over the 20 to the 22. Modest pickup on 1st down, and Zaborowski is the leading rusher in the first half. He had 70 yards. Picks up a couple, will bring up 2nd and 8. They've got the wind here in the third quarter due to the Scots, and their road whites top and bottom with that maroon helmet. On 2nd down, they're looking at a 4-receiver set. Empty backfield except for Nick Cozart, flanked off the left side. Checked at the right side in motion. 3-man front. Pass in the flat, off the mark, and that is a loose football at the 15-yard line.
They're going to call it an incomplete pass.
They are going to call it an incomplete pass. Intended receiver was Caleb Reinhardt, but that one just flat out missed by Zaborowski as it went wide. It'll bring up 3rd and 8.
That was a dangerous pass because a little bit further back, and that could have been a lateral, which Hope could have picked up and advanced.
And I think Hope College bench thought that maybe it was a lateral initially. You could see a lot of activity on the bench. On 3rd down conversions today, Alma 3 of 9. 3rd and 8 from their own 22 from the far hash. Dylan Zaborowski, the 4-year starter from Michigan Center High School, Jackson, Michigan product. Drop back to pass, has time. Home run ball over the middle, and that one is too strong as it falls to the turf, incomplete. Intended for Yancey, the intended receiver.
Luke Beckhusen was right with Yancey, stride for stride, very well defended by Luke, and Zaborowski just overthrew his man, and Hope forces a 3, and now they're going to get the football back.
Fine defensive stop for the Flying Dutchman. Looking at the time of possession in that first half, Hope College had about a minute advantage. So both defenses pretty much on the field for the same time. Low snap, Smith tries to get this one over and out against the Hope College defense. That one end over end over the 50 down to the 45, and they'll mark that. Still moving as a side judge.
They'll mark it at the 48, it looks like.
Looks to be. Decent punt by Colin Smith. considering it was a wobbly kick.
Actually, they're going to put it in Alma territory.
Oh, my goodness. How about that? Big break.
So, again, another Alma's just had all kinds of adventures with the kicking game tonight, and Hope's going to get the football in Scott's territory at the 42.
Just a 22-yard punt with a pretty big wind as that flag is at full attention off to our right. So Hope starts once again in Alma territory at the 42. Far hash mark the scene where Hope College will scrimmage on 1st and 10. Mason Oppel completed his last 8 passes in that first half. He's in the shotgun. He gives to his running back, Brendan Campbell, who's hit low and dropped. And Colton Tyson, the leading tackler for Alma, came in 4th in the MIAA, knocks down another tackle. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11 as Campbell loses a yard.
Yeah, Tyson went in low that time on Brandon and just took his legs out from underneath him. And, Tyson's been all over the field tonight for this Scott team, the senior from Vassar.
Campbell had 103 yards after the first quarter, only 32 yards since, so they've been able to keep him under control. On 2nd down, they give to Campbell once again, kind of picking his way inside the 40 to the 38-yard line, past the original line of scrimmage. Good pickup, good block by Justin Fairfield, the senior from North Muskegon, off that right guard slot.
Justin wearing a brace on that left knee. If you listened to the game last week, Justin was injured late in the ball game. We were concerned about the condition of his knee, but he's back out there tonight, and he looks pretty good out there.
And a huge sigh of relief for a lot of folks concerned with Justin. All MIAA player, preseason All-American. He'll line up in that right guard slot on 3rd down. 5-yard pickup by Campbell to bring up 3rd down and 7. Play action. Oppel looking over in the middle. He's got a wide open receiver, and Hardy at the 10, and he falls and makes the catch at the 5-yard line on the needle into a stiff wind, and Hardy hauls down his first grab of the night. 1st down, and Hope College in business deep in Scott territory.
I didn't think Mason Oppel was going to go deep with these windy conditions, but he threw a post pattern right down the middle of the field, and Mari Hardy went out and got it. 1st down, Hope at the Alma 3.
And Hardy had 3 steps on his defender. Hardy with his 2nd catch of the year. His first one went for a 30-yard touchdown on 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Oppel keeps it on the quarterback fake, and he reaches into the end zone. He's in for the touchdown. How about that? He faked the handoff to Campbell, went straight up the middle, and Mason Oppel with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night.
Well, again, it was Colton Tyson took the legs out from Oppel right at about the 1-yard line, but Mason able to stretch across and get into the end zone for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. And it's now 29-7 Hope with 8:20 to go in the 3rd.
And Hope College taking advantage once again of great field possession, and that one is a very big score with 8:20 remaining. Darren Ford trying to make this a 23-point game. Boss loose on the exchange. Ford tries to loft it in the end zone. That ball is incomplete in the end zone. Boss juggled the snap and picked up by Darren Ford, and Ford moved to his right to try and loft it in the end zone. Noble effort, but it falls incomplete.
Well, it wasn't that bad of a pass.
It wasn't.
It was way better than Gary Apremian trying to pass the football.
That's true.
But Darren Ford tried his best to make something out of nothing. He threw it into a crowd, and it got broken up. But with 8:20 to go here in the 3rd, it is Hope College 29, Alma 7. And that's a big score, Mike, because with these conditions right now, the Alma's in a position where they've got to get 3 scores now. And it's going to be difficult, I think, for the Scots with these weather conditions.
No doubt about it. 4 plays, 42 yards, and Mari Hardy with a 36-yard reception to set up that touchdown rush by Mason Oppel. I stand corrected. I said that was Mason Oppel's 2nd rushing touchdown on the day. It was his 1st, but is his 3rd of the year.
3rd of the year, okay.
3rd of the year, and I stand corrected. But fantastic, 29-7 Hope College.
Well, and Mike, good, worth noting, of the 6 scoring possessions that Hope has had tonight, 5 of them have started in Alma territory.
That's a recipe for disaster if you're Alma trying to hold down a potent Hope offense, especially on conditions like today. They don't have to work the whole field. You've got a half the field to work with. Now Ford will boot this away as the showers continue to rain down, and they are cascading all over Ray and Sue Smith Stadium. Some hardy fans here on this Saturday night. As Ford will boot it away, Hinkle and Luckhurst back to receive the kick. Short kick at the 3-yard line, or one of the short kicks, and Hinkle lets it roll. It bounced at the 1-yard line and rolled through the end zone. It'll be a touchback.
Well, it was fascinating watching that kick, Mike. It started down the middle, but that wind pushed it all the way over to the left.
Yeah, the wind is in the face of Hope and moving a little bit to their left, so it's angling a little bit to like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock position
Right.
where Hope is concerned, and no return. So Darren Ford, hooker by crook, has prevented any serious returns by Alma on the return department. 1st and 10 for the Scots, 29-7 Hope College, giving up just 20 points per game as this Hope defense, and just 1.6 yards, or check that, 2.4 yards per rush. That leads the MIAA. Back to pass on the play action to Zaborowski. Plenty of time. He goes over the middle. That one is picked off. Luke Beckhusen with the interception at the 40. Racing down the sideline. 25-20. Pushed out of bounds.
Zaborowski was trying to find Chase Hinkle, the sophomore from Concord, downfield. He simply underthrew the football, and Luke Beckhusen was perfectly placed. If that ball had been thrown where Hinkle was, that could have been a big play, but he underthrew him, and Beckhusen there for the pick.
He backhanded that interception, the 4th of the season for Hope College and the 1st for the sophomore Luke Beckhusen in his career, the sophomore from Coldwater, and Hope College with 1st and 10. And they're going to mark it around the 10-yard line. I don't know if it's 1st and goal or 1st and 10, but Hope College is a business.
It's good. They don't have the sticks up, so it's going to be 1st and goal. So, but once again, another Hope College drive starting in Alma territory.
And we talked about with the weather how turnovers would be key in this second half. And Hope College now taking advantage of the second turnover of the day. And that Hope bench is fired up right underneath us on the west side of the field as Christian Boss checks in. Slank in the slot on the right side on 1st down, and Hope College is going to have to burn a timeout. They were all sorts of discombobulated on the roster assignment with the 11 on the offensive side of the football.
29-7 Hope, 8:08 to go in the third. And we didn't get a chance to go over some of the major scores in Division III football today, but a couple of big games today. Mary Hardin Baylor, ranked number 1 in the country, played Hardin Simmons, ranked number 5. Mary Hardin Baylor got it done by a score of 17-7. Number 2 Mount Union, well, they do what Mount Union usually does. They clobber number 21 Heidelberg, 63-7. The Purple Raiders roll in that one.
And a very good Heidelberg team. They've had a great season, but not today.
Number 3 Wisconsin Oshkosh leading at the half against Wisconsin Stevens Point, 35-0. Number 4 North Central, that's from out of Naperville, Illinois. They shut out North Park 33-zip. Number 7 Linfield over Wilmette 55-14. Number 8 St. John's, the Johnnies over Augsburg 49-3. Number 9 Wisconsin Platteville over River Falls. And
sorry, Greg, on 1st down, Opple with a end over end pass in the end zone, fielded by, I think it's Brandon Campbell for the touchdown. I'm not quite sure. We'll see who's got the number. That's Chris Kelly.
Chris Kelly, who we see him as the H-back, the junior from Royal Oak Shrine, and that may be his first touchdown.
I think it could be his first reception as a member of the Flying Dutchman, and he is all sorts of fired up on the first play on 1st and goal, and Mason Opple fires his second passing touchdown of the day, and it's 35-7. Low snap, kick is up by Ford, and he line drives it through the uprights as Hope College takes advantage of the interception by Luke Beckhusen, and they go one play, 10 yards. Chris Kelly, who has such big key blocks and one of the undersung players on this offense, able to take it in for 6 on the reception.
Yeah, you gotta like a guy that just sacrifices his body every day. He's totally a team guy. Great to see him get an opportunity.
And we just had confirmation from Sports Information Director Alan Babbitt. The first reception for Chris Kelly in his Hope College football career, and obviously his first touchdown. And fantastic stuff for the senior from Royal Oak Shrine Catholic.
Now 2 touchdowns in a span of 17 seconds for the Flying Dutchman. They've broken it open here in the third, now leading at 36-7.
The only saving grace for Alma is there's still a lot of time left, but down 29 points with 8:03 left. They're going to have to get some quick scores. Hope College has done their part in taking out the big play of Alma that they're known for. A very high-powered offense averaging over 400 yards per game, but not tonight.
Well, the Hope defense and the special teams have set the table for the Flying Dutchman, giving them that great field position, and Hope's been able to capitalize on that field position to build up this lead.
Alma just 120 yards of total offense. Big booming kick into the wind. Fielded at the goal line. That's Luckhurst. Goes straight upfield. Cuts back on the outside. Look out at the 30, 35, and he is upended. And a nice tackle, and that is Nick Holt, the sophomore from Muskegon Catholic Central, with a low hit collision at the 35.
That was a tremendous collision that time, but Holt sacrificing his body to make that stop and preventing a long kickoff return. So the Scots will have it at their 36, and Zaborowski brings him out. He threw an interception on his last attempt as Luke Beckhusen picked him off.
Fourth interception of the year for Hope defensively. It should be noted Lars Murray, the senior from Coleman, Michigan, not making the start. We have not seen him play all night, the wide receiver. On first down, Reinhardt takes it over right tackle. Line of scrimmage at the 36, fights his way to the 40. Reinhardt has been a non-factor in this game. He's averaging 143 yards a game. That's second in the league. He had 24 yards at halftime. He picks up 4 to bring up 2nd and 6. From the far hash mark at their own 40, Cozart, little sidestep, man in motion. Zaborowski has time, fires little curling pattern to Yancey. That's been his bread and butter, Yancey. And that one is incomplete as he's pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, Yancey initially had the catch, but then it went right through the midsection that time, and that's going to bring up another 3rd long. And Mike, it bears repeating, Alma has been averaging about 8 to 9 yards a situation on 3rd down, and that's one of the reasons why they've had such a low conversion percentage on 3rd down.
Yeah, it's been a tough go for him. Jake Babb and Tate Knapp check in on 3rd down. 3rd and 6, Zaborowski going to keep it, hitting the backfield.
Tate Knapp got him, and with help from Babb.
And Zach Telfer in the middle of the pile as well, as no gain, maybe lost a half a yard on 3rd down, and Alma will have to punt the football away.
Well, that was the play that Zaborowski had the touchdown run on earlier, but the Dutchmen were ready for it that time.
3 of 11 on the day for Alma. Colin Smith to punt this football away. It's been a tough go in the punting department. He was down on a knee at the 12-yard line in the first half. Hope College able to score some points. That a low snap as well. Pretty good kick by Smith. Van Vliet is going to field it at the 18-yard line. Stutter step. He tries to move. He is hit at the 20, and you can see the water fly off his jersey on the collision as Van Vliet brings it back for a gain of 3. 1st and 10 for Hope from their own 22.
Well, your friend Joe Schaefer, the young man from Lowell, down on the coverage, making the tackle on Van Vliet. Hope will have the football at their 22 with 6:38 to play in the 3rd.
Had a chance to call a few Lowell games in my day. Joe Schaefer was a center and a guard and a tackle on the offensive line. He's been converted to a tight end here for Alma. He's going to get some playing time. He's a freshman.
Well, it's amazing what college coaches do. They'll take a guy that played another position in high school and they'll find a different spot for him, and they usually flourish.
You betcha. Bruce Schrader, who was a quarterback last year, he's a backup receiver now for Hope College. On first down, Campbell has room, 25-30.
There we go!
Straight up the middle, 40-45. And tries to stiff arm at the 30. Finally hog-tied down at the 24-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle by cornerback Colin Smith, and Campbell does it again.
I think Brandon just ran out of gas that time. Just a tremendous run, another big gainer of over 50 yards. And
his second 55-yard gain of the day, and 1st and 10 from the Alma 23. And Brandon Campbell had a career-high 231 yards last year against Alma, and he's flirting with the 200-yard mark again. 1st and 10. Hope up big, 36-7. Campbell with a $192. Oppel in trouble, and he is dumped at the 32.
Well, that was a low snap that time, and by the time Oppel picked up the football, Dylan Bergman, the defensive lineman from Williamston, sized him up and just crushed him. That's going to be a loss of about 7 on the play.
And Oppel is none the worse for wear. Chris Lee checks in. Campbell checks out. Logan Shadiah, the H-back, lines up on the right side. 2 receivers, Mari Hardy on the left and Veenstra to the right for Mason Oppel on 2nd down. We'll call it 18 from the 32. Hope up 36-7. Looking towards a bench with 10 on the play clock. Hope has 1 timeout remaining in this game. They burned 2 here in the 3rd quarter. Here's the snap. High snap. Give to Lee. Trying to pick his way through. He is hit high at the 30. Maybe picks up a couple. It'll bring up 3rd down and 16. Chris Lee in this game, 5 carries for 15 yards. But he's been all-purpose today, Greg. He's had several catches in the game, 4 to be exact, to lead the team.
Oh, he's a valuable complement to Brandon Campbell. With Mike McClusick being out for the season with an injury, having Chris Lee return has been a godsend.
Third down, we'll call it 17. And now Christian Boss in. Curtis Slankin, they'll line up on the right side.
Bruce Schrader's in the game now at wide receiver.
This is the first time I believe he's seen Schrader this year. He lines up on the left side, the sophomore from Appleton, Wisconsin. Boss in motion, power sweep. Christian Boss cops up the football, loose pill at the 26, and Alma saying they have the football.
And they do.
As that ball was squeezed out of Christian Boss's hands.
Zach Peterson, the senior linebacker from Holt, just reached in with a fist and punched it out from the back of Christian Boss, causing the turnover. Hope turns it over for the second time tonight. Alma will get it at their 27-yard line. 4:27 to go in the third, with Hope leading 36-7.
Second turnover for Hope, like you mentioned, Greg. Both fumbles came right around the Alma 30-yard line, so deep in Alma territory, and they cough up the football. 4:27 remaining here in the third. Man in motion is Hinkle, faking the snap to him. Zaborowski is hit, and Jake Pardnay hitting high. Initial hit, I'm not sure who that was, but he was hit at the line of scrimmage and no gain.
Pardnay was there, Ian Jorgensen, and
Jake Zansky.
Jake Zansky was in there as well. They faked the jet sweep, but Zaborowski kept it, and Hope not fooled at all.
No, Zansky having a great game. He's so fast coming in from the secondary. He plays like a free safety linebacker position. Now lines up as an outside linebacker on the left side on second down. We'll call it 9.5. Give to Reinhardt, picking his way off the right side. He is caught up by Griffin Weigel, and Weigel is dragged to the 35. Zach Telford in on the stop as well. It'll bring up third down and a long 2 for Alma with 3:42 and counting here in the third. Zansky in as well on the stop. Zansky's having a big second half. Zansky had 3 tackles in the first half, and now he's got 6 for the game. On third down, 3rd and 2. Flanking quarterback Zaborowski is Reinhardt, hitting the backfield of Zaborowski, trying to get forward momentum, and he is driven back. We'll see where forward progress is.
Guess who's in the middle of it?
I would say either Jacob Weigel or Zach Telford.
It was Jake Pardnay.
Jake Pardnay. We have so many great Hope defensive choices, it's hard to guess.
And
how about that, a first down?
They do give him the first down on forward progress. I didn't think he got it.
I didn't think so either.
But they do give it to him. It is first down Alma, and it's 37.
Brandon Ellsworth checks out. Darren Tolbert checks in, the sophomore from Flint Powers Catholic. Off right tackle, room to run as Reinhardt, 360 spin move. He eludes the tackle at the 44, fights his way close to the first down. He had to get to his own 48. That's a nice run by Reinhardt with a little razzle-dazzle.
Well, yeah, that's an example of the capability that Caleb Reinhardt has. We told you at the top of the broadcast about his abilities. 140 yards average on the season. Hope has held him in check for the most part today. This was his best run of the night.
Over 40 yards now for Reinhardt. Now give to Reinhardt once again. He's in Hope territory, has enough of the first down. He kind of just picks his way through the middle of the line like water through a rock, Greg, and he's able to slip down to the Hope 47. First down for Alma, their second of the drive. They picked up the football on the fumble by Hope at the 30-yard line of Alma.
But Alma continuing to run the football, and when you're running the football, a lot of time runs off the clock, Mike. You only have 2 minutes to go in the third.
Yeah, Zaborowski has had a tough day in the air. 4 of 15. This is easily his poorest performance in 2017. Give to Reinhardt, hits the hole hard. Fumble.
And Hope got it.
They did at the 45.
Griffin Weigel got the recovery, and they're going to say he was down. They're gonna say he was down.
That's a tough break.
Well, that's a yeah. All the Hope defenders are pointing to their right and saying it's their ball.
Referee's talking things over at the 45. They still haven't made a decision yet. They're trying to clear a path. We'll see what they call. I hope just by the body language, I don't think they got it.
Yeah, I thought the ball popped out.
Check the video review.
It is Hope football.
Man, oh man, we've seen back-to-back turnovers twice in this game on consecutive drives by both teams. Well, the turnover has been key here in the second half, and they turn it over in Hope College territory to the Scots. Here comes Hope College with 1:45 remaining in this third quarter, and they're up big 36-7.
Well, the Hope defense tonight, I said it before. They've set the table for the Hope offense by keeping Alma, by limiting Alma on their drives and helping Hopes get set up in good field position.
Nick Holt, the sophomore from Norton Shores, Michigan, comes up with a fumble recovery as he's getting slapped on the helmet off to our right below us. 1st and 10 for Hope. Mason Oppel in this game, 13 of 19 after a 2-for-8 start. He has quietly put together 142 yards of passing offense. And Hope College over the almost approaching the 400-yard mark on offense. On a night like this, truly incredible. Campbell has a little bit of room, cuts to the outside. Alma territory, 45, 40, burrows through 2 Alma tacklers.
And the ball knocked
Fumble
out
at the 34, and falling on it is a Hope College offensive player. I believe that's Kurt Slank. A first down on a big run, but crisis averted.
And that puts Brandon Campbell over 200 yards on the ground. He went for over 200 a year ago against Alma with 5 touchdowns, and Hope will have it.
Well, his high is 231.
Oh, looks like we had a flag thrown right in front of the Alma bench. So part of this may come back. There is a Hope College penalty on the play.
That's a 25-yard rush by Brandon Campbell.
Holding
call.
Holding is the call, and I think they may have called that on one of the downfield receivers. So that will nullify a portion of the gain for Brandon Campbell. That should still put him over 200 yards rushing for the contest. Hope will have it. 1st and 1, Mike Coleman.
That's amazing. You don't see that too often.
No, you don't.
Point of infraction, and that hold was deep downfield. Bunch formation to the left side. Lone receiver to the right side is Slank on 1st down and 1. Campbell, the lone back. He gets the handoff off left tackle, stood up, trying to second effort it over the first down marker, but we'll see where they mark him. They'll mark him at the 47. He had to get just inside the 47. It's going to be 2nd down and a short half yard with 1:07 on the clock here in the 3rd.
And Campbell will check out. Chris Lee will come in for him on 2nd down as we tick under 1 minute to play in the 3rd.
Brandon Campbell, 214 yards on 20 carries in this game. And he is fast approaching a career high. We got a lot of time left. No reason why he can't. It's Hope College content to keep it on the ground, and the wind is just vicious right now. That American flag at attention. 2nd and 1. Give to Lee. Bounces to the outside. 1st down, 40. 35 gets a block downfield from Slank. 25, 20. No flags that I see. And Chris Lee with a big carry.
Was there a fumble at the end of the play?
There was a fumble.
And Alma's got it. Chris Lee with a great run, but he fumbles at the end of the play, and Alma has recovered at the Scott 16-yard line. The ball, handling the football is an adventure right now, Mike.
Oh, well, no doubt. I mean, we've had so much rain in this game, it's not a surprise. So 3 turnovers for Hope College, all via the fumble. So a 35-yard rush by Chris Lee. Fine effort. He picked up the 1st down. He used a nice block downfield. And now with 31 seconds remaining, Hope up comfortably 36-7, but ball security definitely a concern here in this game. Both teams have struggled with it. On 1st and 10, Zaborowski, 4 of 15 in the game for 31 yards. He might be flirting with the lowest passing performance so far as he's hit. Gets rid of the football. That one in and out of the hands of Yancey. Almost picked off by Nick Holt, who was 5 yards ahead of the play as Zaborowski tried to thread the needle. It falls incomplete.
Pressure from Tate Knapp again coming from the outside. Zaborowski got hit as he delivered that football.
Tate Knapp, he is something else. 6'5", 225 with big long arms. And he lines up on the right. 3 on the front line for Hope defensively on 2nd and 10 from their own 16. Low snap. Zaborowski wants to throw. He looks to the right, looks for Yancey, and he is upended at the 30, at the 29. It should be enough for a 1st down. Mason Rosado on the tackle, but Yancey hauls down catch number 4, and he's had enough for the 1st down.
Well, Mason Rosado and all the Hope DBs have just got to keep the play in front of them. They can't get beat deep.
1st and 10 from their own 29. This will be the last play of the 3rd quarter if they get it off. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Zaborowski slaps his hands together. You see the water flying off his hands. Give to Spratling, lowers the head. Tough yardage off right tackle as the 3rd quarter comes to a close. And a short gain for Alma. It'll bring up 2nd down and a long when we come back in this 4th quarter.
Well, they've come to the end of the 3rd quarter here. Hope College trying to go to 2-0 in the MIAA, 4-1 overall. They are all over Alma, 36-7 at the end of 3. We'll take a 60. You're listening to Hope Football on the Lakeshores 92.7 The Van and 92.7thevan.com.
My 32 years, I can look back at clients and realize that when I started with them in my mid-30s, I was one of many professionals in their life. But since then, their doctors retired, their attorneys retired, their ministers retired, all the key people in their life retired, but we're still there. And over time, we end up being very, very close to our clients. It's very hard to talk about your financial history without talking about your family history. We get to know it, we keep it confidential, and you can't help but begin to love these people.
Hope up 36-7. They've scored the last 19 points of this ballgame. Zaborowski on 2nd down and 7, fires over the middle, almost picked off by Zansky. Ball a little bit thrown behind the receiver, Spratling, and it'll bring up 3rd down as Spratling, the running back, comes out of the flat. And Zaborowski just having all sorts of problems on the day. 5 of 19 for 49 yards. Well, the conditions are horrible as it brings up 3rd and 7. 3 of 11 on the day for Alma in this situation. Empty backfield for Zaborowski as he looks to the flat. That is complete. And a big collision as Mason Rosado, he does not give up quarter to anybody, is able to flatten the tight end, and that's Jacob McKitty. And Rosado is fearless from the secondary.
And he went in head first, shoulder first, and he takes the legs out from the tight end. It's short of the 1st down. It's 4th and a yard to go. Alma's going to go for it here with 14:48 to play.
Not much of a choice. 6-yard pickup, McKitty's first reception of the day. 4th down and a yard. Hope fans trying to make some noise on 4th down from their own 38. Near hash mark. Staring into that wind here in the 4th quarter. Zaborowski has a 1st down. Spin move on his feet at the 50. Brought down in Hope territory as Beckhusen with an ankle tackle at the 46. But that's what Zaborowski does. He scrambles so well, and he gets the 1st down.
That's what makes him so effective, Mike.
He's fantastic, and he's the leading rusher on the day. He's over 80 yards now, and another 1st down for Alma. But all things considered, they have not had any big plays. Hope College has been able to just keep this offense in check, averaging over 420 yards per game coming in. And heading in after 3 quarters, just 174 yards. Zaborowski scrambling. He's at the line of scrimmage, fires it over the middle. That one is intercepted at the 18. And that is Kyle Crum, the junior from Okemos, with the pickoff.
That one hung up in the air a little bit. Not much oomph behind the pass there by Zaborowski, and Crum able to get over and make the pick.
Fantastic. 2nd interception. We saw Luke Beckhusen and Kyle Crum. I may be wrong, but that could be his first career interception. We'll get the research department on that.
Turnover number 4 by the Alma Scots tonight. Hope will have the football with 14:09 to play, leading 36-7 as they come up to the line.
On 1st and 10 from their own 28. 4 turnovers on the day for Alma. With the wind here in the 4th quarter and the big lead, Mason Oppel hands off to his big back. Brandon Campbell busted outside the tackle. We got flags all over the place at the 40. Campbell pushed out of bounds in front of the Alma bench. This one's coming back.
Oh, yeah, this is going to probably be holding against the Flying Dutchman, so that'll nullify the game. Updating you on some college football scores. Early on, Quinn Nordine with a 30-yard field goal for Michigan. They lead late 1st quarter, 3-0 over MSU at the Big House. And Western Michigan played Buffalo today. It just ended. They went 7 overtimes. The Broncos win it 71-68.
I don't know, basketball season started already. That's amazing. That's got to be some kind of record. So a 10-yard mark-off. Thanks, Greg Chandler. Kyle Crum, I stand corrected. He had 2 interceptions last year, so now career interception number 3, the junior from Okemos. The defensive man with second interception of the day. And Hope now 1st and 20 from their own 18 as the wind and the rain continue to howl. Campbell carries it over the middle. Campbell now worth the discussion. He had 231 yards last year against Alma. That was a career high as he picks up minimal yardage, maybe a yard. He needs right around 20 yards to match his career high. He's at 211 yards going into that carry. It'll bring up 2nd down and 20. No gain officially for Campbell on 21 carries. Averaging almost 10 yards per carry. He's had 2 55-yard jaunts in this one. And now Boss lines up left side along with Curtis Slink. Slink in the slot. Campbell directly behind Oppel on 2nd down. 4 on the front for Alma. Everybody up in the box. They've got 9 in the box, kind of stacking it, waiting for Campbell to run. He's got room in the outside 20. Cuts back on the inside to the 30, lowers ahead. And he puts a hurt on one of the secondary men for Alma as Chris Luckhurst went low. But a nice run by Campbell as he breaks it over the 30 to the 34. Boy, that is 6 tough yards. Bring up 3rd and a long 3 as Campbell checks out. Chris Lee checks back in. Boy, what a compliment Chris Lee has been for Campbell this year with Mike McClusick out. Chris Lee has not played since 2015. He was cleared this year. He's been fantastic. On 3rd down, they give it to Lee. He'll bounce it to the outside. He's got the first down. We got another flag in the backfield for Hope, and this one's going to come back again. My, oh my, 2 straight first down in this drive. They're going to be coming back.
Well, you got to figure if you're one of the offensive linemen trying to block your guy, and trying to maintain your position. I think the linemen are having as much of a challenge with the turf as maybe the backs are.
No doubt. Maybe they can't get enough push off. I mean, this is a great turf. It's field turf. It's AstroTurf, and the artificial drains very well, but still the rain factors in. So that'll be a 3rd down now and 13. They have to get to their own 38. They'll scrimmage from the 25 with 12:21 remaining in this one. We'll have the Crown Motors post-game show at the conclusion of the game. Hope trying to move to 4-1 on the year. And Alma in danger of dropping to 3-2. They lost to Manchester 33-31 in the 2nd game of the season. On 3rd down, handoff, Lee trying to bite a block, and he is cut down at the 25. Loose football.
They're going to rule him down at the point of contact.
You bet.
The ball came out after Lee hit the ground, so ground can't cause a fumble.
So he's dropped to the 25. No gain on that play. It'll bring up 4th down in a punting situation. So Darren Ford will come on. So Ford's had a good day. And he'll punt from his own 10-yard line. Back is Hinkle at his own 25, 11-19. Low snap. Ford has to come up with the football, nowhere to go. He's going to try and tuck it and run at the 25 to the 30, 35, and he is hit at the 36-yard line, driven out of bounds by Derek Ellis, but he'll be short of the first down, but a valiant effort by Ford.
He almost got the first down out of that. A low snap, and Ford saw the Alma guy coming at him. There was no way he was going to get it off without getting a block. He found an opening, and he almost picked up the first down. He is stopped 2 yards short. Alma gets the football with 11:09 left, with Hope still leading 36-7.
Well, the rain coming down sideways, and you got to know they try and keep these footballs dry, but we've seen a lot of low snaps, some high snaps. We've seen a lot of fumbles here in the second half, and the rain having an effect here in the second half of this ball game. On 1st and 10, Zaborowski 6 of 20, 2 interceptions, 4 turnovers all day for Alma on first down. Zaborowski rolling left, still looking. Now he's going to keep it and run as he is forced out of bounds. Good pickup as he fights his way down to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, the Hope secondary had all the receivers covered. Zaborowski had no choice but just to tuck it and run, able to get about 5, maybe 6 out of it.
It'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Zaborowski now flirting with the 100-yard mark. Zaborowski last week had 109 yards. Check that, 167 yards on 26 rushes. This one is given to Spratling. The quarterback turned running back, and he'll be close to the first down. Had to get to the 25 as he tries off left tackle. John Aloisi and Fisher Klein, 2 returning starters, junior and sophomore respectively, trying to open a hole, but it'll be a yard and a half short. It'll bring up third down. Hope fans trying to make some noise. Hope up 36-7. They came out strong in the second half, 23-7 at half. They've had 2 quick scores, and that's been it. Fakes a handoff to the wide receiver. Zaborowski should have enough. It's going to be close as he is dropped down at the 25.
It's going to depend on the spot, Mike.
Mason Decker in on the stop.
They will mark it at the 27. That's a yard short of the first down.
Well, not a favorable spot. No choice for Alma now but to go for it with 9:55 left. 4 on the front for Hope as they've got 7 in the box on fourth down. Zaborowski from the shotgun. First down, picks his way, bobs and weaves down to the 20. Good bit of running by Zaborowski. You know, for such a big frame, he is so elusive. His lateral motion's fantastic.
He dips and he dunks in it. You know, he uses that body of his to find little openings and able to get yardage.
1st and 10 from the Hope 22. The red zone defense by Hope is fantastic. They've given up 67% scores, but that is the best in the MIAA. Back to pass, firing over the middle, ball tipped in the air. Who wants it as it falls to the turf? Mason Rosado with a tip and a nice play on the incompletion.
That was a post pattern that time. They wanted, I believe that was Shane Henry was the intended receiver on the play. Check that. That was Chase Kruger on the intended receiver, and Rosado, a nice job defending the football there, deflecting it away.
Kruger, the sophomore from Forest Hills Eastern, getting some play time. A lot of Western Michigan products on this Alma roster. 2nd and 10 from the Hope 22. Ball between the hash marks. 2 tight end formation. Give to Spratling. We have not seen Caleb Reinhardt here in the last couple drives for Hope College. As Spratling with a nice move. Spratling at 6'1", 178. Not a big back, but he's very spry through the line. Picks up 6. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Well, Spratling was recruited. He's kind of in that same mold as Zaborowski. He was a dual threat quarterback at Kelloggsville and had a great career there. Hope was looking at him. He was recruited by Hope and Wheaton College. He decided to go to Alma, and he wanted to make the move to running back to give himself more playing time.
Now empty backfield for Zaborowski on 3rd down. He'll keep it. Starts right, goes left. Breaks a shoestring tackle. Second effort down to the 12. And the initial contact was Mason Decker, the sophomore linebacker from West Ottawa. And they're going to mark him close. This might be chain gang worthy. He'll be just short. Tom Davilar, our PA announcer.
It's going to be 4th and inches from the 12-yard line. So for the second time on this possession, Alma with a 4th down.
4th and a half yard from the 18. Zaborowski in the pistol. He'll keep it. Quarterback riding over that left side of the line, and he spins around. He'll be dropped at the 10-yard line, but he's working that left side. Aloisi at 315 and Klein at 253 created some space, and Zaborowski able to crawl in for a first down.
Yeah, just hide behind that 315-pound lineman, John Aloisi from out of Allen Park, Cabrini, leading the way there as Zaborowski able to pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10, 1st and goal for that matter. Alma scored to make it a 17-7 game, but ever since then it's been Hope College as Spratling lifted in the air. Zach Telfer lifts him off the ground, and he's finished off at the 7-yard line. We don't know if Caleb Reinhardt has suffered an injury, but Spratling is getting the bulk of the carries here in this second half. Spratling came in on the year rushing numbers. He had 21 rushes for 67 yards. But right now he's carrying the load. Spratling with 15 yards in this one. 2nd down and goal from the 7. Zaborowski looks to the sidelines. 7:14 left. Time in Hope's favor. They're up big 36-7. Game should be in hand, barring any emergencies. And now Zaborowski looking towards the end zone. Fires over the middle. That one is caught. Touchdown. And that is Chase Hinkle. Hinkle with his first catch of the day, and Hinkle hauls down touchdown number 3 on the season. That one good from 7, and Alma converts with the touchdown. All on that fumble by Chris Lee. So the turnovers by both teams have resulted in scores as Plesko now trying to make this a 36-14 game. So the kick is up, not a deep kick, but that one is good. Well, Greg Chandler, with 7:02 remaining, you got a 3-score lead, 36-14, so nothing insurmountable for Alma as far as that's concerned. They need a turnover, but for Hope College, you just gotta have some ball security and just trying to eat some clock.
Well, you got to figure Alma will probably try an onside kick here, with the score being a 3-score game with 7 minutes to go. And I see a lot of guys with numbers in the 20s and 30s and 80s out there right now, and I would be very surprised if the Scots don't try an onside kick here.
One thing Hope did effectively to end the first half was they had a 14-play drive to kill the time in the first half, and they finished it off with a field goal. When it was 7:02 left, if they can take a big chunk off after they secure this football, they would be in good shape. Trying to move to 2-0 in the MIAA. Alma in danger of moving to 1-1. Hope College taking on Adrian next week. That'll be homecoming. We'll be on there at 5:40 for the pregame show right here on 92.7 The Van. Streaming online at 927thevan.com. Next week, Alma at Aurora in non-conference action.
Updating you on that Michigan State-Michigan game, Brian Lewerke has scored on a 14-yard run for the Spartans. It's 7-3 MSU over U of M. That's late first quarter.
Well, U of M favored in that game, but MSU trying to make a statement in the Big House. Not an easy place to play. So now Hinkle will hold the football for Plesko. Back at the 20-yard line are the deep backs for Hope College, expecting an onside boot. And not, it's an end-over-end kick, fielded at the 22-yard line, and that is Christian Boss with a burst of speed at the 40 to the 45. Just kind of waited a little bit and then hit the hole. And Christian Boss with a nice return. And Boss came into the game averaging just over 21 yards a return. And that one good for 25. 1st and 10 for Hope with good field position.
Okay, 6:55 left to go in the game. You're up by 3 scores. And ball security again, Mike. I've been preaching this throughout the second half. Hope's got to hang on to the football here. They can't turn it over. If they can just, even if they go 3 and out, they'll still use about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes of that clock.
On 1st and 10. Brandon Campbell needing 3 yards to match his career high. He'll line up behind Oppel on 1st down. Oppel, the quarterback, the sophomore from Hudsonville. 13 of 19 is not to put the ball in the air too much in this first half. They give to Campbell, and Campbell is wrapped up in the backfield.
He fumbled.
He fumbled the football.
And they're going to rule him down by contact. Well, and the Alma coaching staff is just furious across the way from us. And we got an injured player.
That looks like.
And that.
Is that DeVelder? I believe it is. Number
It is
70,
Noah DeVelder. You're correct.
DeVelder, the sophomore from East Grand Rapids. Well, he got up quickly. DeVelder, 6'3", 245, sophomore. Hope College players on the field motioning for the trainer right away. Not sure what his injury is, but he's walking up under his own power. And we'll have a substitution on the line. They're going to have Matt Reitzma, the senior from Lowell, checking in. He'll work that right tackle position. He started a few games last year. Reitzma, very experienced. Loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Now a stoppage of play.
Oh, they're gonna put some time back on the clock. Okay. It looks like.
It says 6:28 at the moment. Tim Pletcher checks in the backfield.
Now they wind it back up.
6:25. They're going to mark it. Yeah, they're going to take some time off. The clock winding down. 2nd down and 11. Mason Oppel looking at receiver on both sides, flanked right and left on 2nd down. 4 in the box for Alma defensively from the shotgun position. Pletcher stutter stepping his way off left tackle, bounce to the outside, and he is dropped by Colton Tyson with help in the backfield by number 8 for Alma, and that is Zeke Ramirez, the sophomore linebacker. A lot of youth in the secondary for Alma, especially in the linebacker position. They start 2 sophomores, Max Kretschmer and Colin Smith, in that secondary. 3rd down and 11. Half-yard gain by Pletcher. 5:40 and counting, 36-14, Hope with the lead. H-back is Chris Kelly. He had a touchdown pass earlier, his first and only catch as a member of the Flying Dutchman. Counterplay, trying to move outside as Pletcher found a hole, but he stumbled a little bit at the 45, and he is dropped after a short gain. And the tackle by number 90. That is Cameron Lee, Lansing Waverly product. It'll bring up 4th down and 9, and that'll bring up the punting unit.
Yeah, and even though Hope doesn't get a first down on this possession, Mike, they're still able to work some clock, and by the time Darren Ford gets this punt away, there'll be under 5 minutes to play in the ball game. So they ran a couple minutes, and that's what you want.
Yep, the drive started with 7:26 on the clock, and we are under 5 at the moment as Darren Ford, who's had a fine game, he's been as important as anybody in this one. The rush is on, end over end boot by Darren Ford, pushes Hinkle back, and that one blasts into the end zone. And a punt of 53 yards with the win for Darren Ford, just 2 off his season high. Darren Ford averaging over 45 yards on his 4 punts on the night. Does his job.
He's had a sensational night. 3 field goals. He's had several kickoffs go out the back of the end zone, and like you said, Mike, about a 45-yard average per punt. Tremendous weapon for all around for the Flying Dutchman.
3 field goals on the day for Darren Ford. Hope College defensively playing a phenomenal job on this day. Alma with 169 yards of rushing offense and 231 yards total. So Hope College normally stifles the run. They've given up a few yards, but they have stifled the pass effectiveness of Dylan Zembrowski. That's his bread and butter on first down from their own 20. 36-14, Hope with the lead. Shotgun, he's been in the shotgun all day long. Zaborowski hit high, dropped at the 21, maybe the 22. Darren Tolbert in on the action. Mason Decker as well. I like Darrell Tolbert. Gets a lot of snaps. He's not a starter. The sophomore from Flint Powers Catholic. He is a space eater from that defensive tackle nose guard position. 2nd down and 9. Trying to go outside. A new running back for Alma.
That's like Thomas Cannon, who's from out of Wyandotte Roosevelt, same school that produced Jake Zansky.
Indeed. That is indeed Thomas Cannon, a senior, 5'11", 211. We've seen Spratling. Reinhardt has not played much, the starting running back here in the second half. Pickup of 7. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2 with 3:54 in counting. Zaborowski on the quarterback keeper. First down and not much more, but he's able to move the chain as Colton Clute comes in from the secondary. The freshman from Allendale, converted quarterback. We've talked about that. Now a safety. And Zach Telfer in on the stop. 1st and 10 from their own 31. Alma just playing for a little bit of pride now if they can punch it in somehow. But they're content to keep it on the ground. 4 on the box on the front line for defense, for Hope defensively. 3:33 left in this game. 2 receivers near side, 1 on the left for Zambrowski. Straight handoff. And, room to run at the 35-40. Squeezes through the defenders. And a nice play by Cannon as he eats up a chunky yardage to the 44. And he picks up 10-plus yards. First down, Alma. Clock winding down, 3:16. We'll have the Crown Motors postgame show at the conclusion of this one. With Greg Chandler, I'm Mike Coleman. Ben Weingarten back in our 92.7 The Van studio. Thanks for his work. Cannon stood up at the 46, maybe a yard. We're seeing a lot of fresh faces now for Alma. Number 18, Paris Terberg, who was the punter. He played a few plays in the first drive and now getting some action here in the second half. Dustin Nair, senior from Mount Pleasant. 2nd down and 8 for Alma. Zambrowski, play action, has to scramble, moving to his left, little shovel pass, and he tried to get it to Cannon, and that's exactly what it was, as it falls incomplete at the 48. Nice bit of thought, though, by Zaborowski just to shovel it to his up back, but it'll bring up 3rd down and 8. Well, Greg, looking back on this game, it was 23-7 at halftime. Alma wanted to come out strong, but Hope College just put the kibosh on things with 2 big scores to start things off, and Alma was never able to recover on 3rd down. Zaborowski fires far side, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, and that one intended for Yancey falls incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down. No doubt Alma will go for it here on 4th and 8.
And Mason Rosado on the coverage, but big key in this game, Mike, field position, field position, field position. And all but one of Hope's drives tonight started in Alma College territory. And when you get a short field like that, it usually does not bode well for you.
Not at all. No, that really hurt them tonight. On 4th down, straight drop back by Zaborowski. Pump fake. He fires it. Home run ball. Far side. Too strong as that falls incomplete. Intended for Yancey. And a 4th down. Turnover on downs as Hope College will take over. 1st and 10. They're up big 36-14 with just over 2 minutes remaining here at Hope College.
Now the Flying Dutchmen are going to go to 2-0 in the MIAA. Heading into homecoming next Saturday night, right back here at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium as the Adrian Bulldogs come to town.
And another tough ball game, but I think Hope College made a huge statement today. Alma came in with all sorts of momentum, winners of their last 2 games, and now Hope College has just shut the door on the Scots. Low snap, Austin Harris hands off to Pletcher, a little shake and bake to the 40, 35 as he tries to head to the end zone. Finally dropped to the 26-yard line. Tim Pletcher, a nice bit of running, as Austin Harris getting some action, the backup quarterback for Hope College. Harris, the junior from Calvin Christian, and another 1st down for the Flying Dutchman. 1st and 10 from the Alma 27, so we're seeing some new faces here for Hope College. We see number 4, Bruce Schrader checking in. We saw him on a few plays earlier. Same starting 5, the offensive lineman for Austin Harris. He's a big one, 6'3", 225. Stutter step up the middle by Pletcher. Pletcher, not a big frame, but he runs very hard as he mixes his way through the middle of the defensive line of Alma for 3 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 7. So it looks like Brandon Campbell today will finish this day with 226 yards. Just 5 yards off his career high.
Yeah, and this is his second 200-yard game of the season. Only 2 other Hope backs have had 2 200-yard games in a single season. The great Brandon Graham, who played for the Flying Dutchman back in the mid-'90s, and then Dan Bloomers a few years after that.
Good stuff, Greg Chandler. Give to Pletcher once again. He's hit 2 yards past the line of scrimmage and driven back. We'll see where they mark him down. 2nd and 7 will bring up about a 2nd and 6. So Pletcher from Penn High School in Osceola, Indiana, and Pletcher's going to come out a little bit. He looks a little bit dazed.
Yeah, I think he's checking to see what time zone he's in.
Boy, he's kind of shaking his head as Peter Sturzma greets him at the sidelines. And Pletcher, 5'4", $155, not a big back, and he's running up against a big defensive lineman for Alma. 3rd down and 6. Checking in, we got a new running back. That might be Pellioni on 3rd down. And a loose football. And recovered by Alma at the 30-yard line.
Dylan Bergman recovers the miscue, and there was just a miscommunication between Austin Harris and Vinny Pellioni there, and Alma will take over the football, but just with 17 seconds to play in this ball game, Alma's going to have time for 1, maybe 2 plays. Actually,
I stand corrected once again, Chandler. That's Connor Mellon, freshman from Adrian, Michigan, who got the handoff wearing number 18. And Mellon have him listed as a wide receiver, but now getting a spot at the running back position. But he coughs up the football. 1st and 10 for Alma with 17 seconds remaining. But like Greg mentioned, Hope's going to move to 2-0 in the conference and 4-1 as we reach the halfway point of the season. Zaborowski on 1st down gives to Cannon, who lowers the head, eludes the tackle at the 30 to the 35-yard line. Tate Babb had him wrapped up. And 8 seconds remaining. This one will go into the history books as Hope College with a convincing victory, reminiscent of last year's 35-19 victory. This time they take it 36-14 and avenge the loss 2 years ago here at Ray and Sue Smith Stadium.
Well, Hope College jumped out to an early 17-0 lead on the first 3 possessions, Mike, and they never really let Alma get going in the contest. The Scots had 1 long drive in the contest with that was capped off by Zaborowski's touchdown. But Hope capitalizing on first the defense had a lot of 3-and-outs, giving Hope a short field, and there were a couple of special teams miscues as well by the Scots that helped set the Dutchmen up, and Hope able to capitalize, and they walk out of here with another win.
In the 2nd straight week in MIAA play where they came out strong in the ball game, they got a few big scores in the first quarter, up a couple scores in that first 15 minutes, and that really made the difference once again in this victory tonight under very, very poor conditions as the rain continues to come down. But Hope College will take it as they move to 4-1 under Peter Sturzma in this 5th game of the season.
We're going to send it back to the studio for this break, and when we come back, we will have the Crown.
We've intentionally never had minimum account sizes. Our philosophy has always been, if you're willing to put in the work and we'll collaborate and we set the plan in place and you're willing to go along with this plan and to put forth effort to this plan, we're happy to work with you. It's what we love to do. And so we have people coming in from the very starting point all the way to, to the wealthy people. It's all different scenarios. Financial planning is not just for the wealthy.